It could be anyone's series. It is all up to the players who steps up in the biggest moments here. It is the LCS Spring Finals starting now.
How would I describe our road to Arizona? Probably very short.
They jump right back in, but Hosebioto has to flash back from the wall. Well, coming in as C9 already find the enemy jungler. They're going to secure themselves this goal point as well. It's a massive bullet time. Everybody is caught in the MF ulti, and LYON wipe them off the rip.
The playoffs have been a bit easier than expected, but I still think they were quite challenging. Probably one of the most competitive splits that I played so far.
I don't feel like any pressure going to finals because I know I'm doing everything I can to win, and if it goes well, fine, good, huge.
Oh, turns it right back around though.
I know a lot of people cheer for me and they want me to win. When you're playing on the big stage and people scream, you can feel the shaking, you know, it's very fun.
Feels good to be back in the finals. I love playing in front of an arena crowd. I have a lot of fans that always cheer for me, so that's always nice.
He's already dropped the Arcane Storm, and yet again, it's TLAW, the cavalry arrive.
It's always exciting to play in the big stage, and that's the moment I enjoy most.
Damage teleports come in, that's the Herald down, but Core finds the engage! Shockwave on a 2!
We've been had a very up and down this year, but one thing we know is that our high is really high.
The path to Arizona is paved, road sign reads Liquid!
Key thing to beat Team Liquid is if core JJ is not in a position where he can do a lot of creative stuff on the map. I think they are not that strong of a team.
As Blabber tries to enter right back into the fight, goes to the Cataclysm. Saints locked up, but Blabber shot down.
Going to this final, we are underdog, which I like it. We're gonna fight them.
You want the trophy? Come and get it from me.
The top class of the LCS are ready to take stage for the final exams. Mullen Arena, please join me in welcoming your grand finalists. Up first, Team Liquid, Alienware. In the top lane, Morgan. In the jungle, Jose Daejeon. In the mid lane, Quinn. And AD carry, LYON. And in support, Core JJ. And facing them on the rift, the defending title holders, LYON! In the top lane, TLAW! In the jungle, Inspire! At mid lane, Saint! At any carry, Berserker! And in support, IOs! Three teams entered Arizona this weekend. Two teams have been chosen to go to MSI, but only one can be crowned your Spring Split champions. It's final season in Tempe, and And there's just one more test for these teams to pass. Give it up one more time for your grand finalists, Team Liquid, Alienware, and LYON!
Team Liquid, they earned the opportunity to play LYON in the grand finals for the title here in the Mullet Arena.
Inspired, I think he's winning too much, so I will make sure we will win today. Honestly, I'm not worried about Inspired. I mean, Jose is gonna, take him down.
Is there anything that unique? I don't know, we just win.
First Darkened Dagger hits him, Inspired goes forward, and he finds the first blood. Jose Dioto's going in, a beautiful kick comes out. Team Liquid goes in for the round one, but they want even more. The minion wave is going to give him the opportunity to recast the slice and dice, and there it is. Ruthless Predator sets it up. Goodness gracious, how audacious, Dokla. Still alive, Mazu in some trouble. Black forward, decimating smash bomb. Isles lands the shot.
Fourth flanking, lands the engage there onto Matsu. The carry's down.
Safe to the back line, and Team Liquid has already lost. Triple kill for Saint on the Yone. Massive fate sealed! Quid just cut them to ribbons!
The safety, no flash on the Victor, still not punished. The calling's enough to kill Cryogen. Team Liquid continue forward.
Darker just got 3! And they will earn their spot in the finals to compete for the LCS Spring Split Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LCS Spring Finals, driven by Kia. We're here in the Mullet Arena in Tempe, Arizona, one more time after our qualifier yesterday between Liquid and C9. Liquid proved their worth to go against LYON today for that trophy right there.
Yeah, Liquid are definitely warmed up after yesterday versus Cloud9. Excited to see if they can keep that momentum going forward here. LYON, of course, did defeat Liquid previously in spring, and so have the upper hand, but Team Liquid feeling a lot better and very confident.
Yeah, that confidence. I ran into Core JJ this morning, getting into the elevator to come here. I asked him about that confidence. I said, you feeling like you guys got what it takes to win today? And he just confidently and quietly said, yeah. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. I'm excited to see how they go up against this LYON squad. That was our representative at our last international competition at First Stand. It was LYON who claimed victory in lock-in, earned the right to represent North America there. We know that both of these teams are going to be representing North America at MSI, but there's a pretty big difference between first seed and second.
Very, very different, especially with T1 being in the play-ins now.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest difference of all, is having to go through that extra difficult step. So not only are you fighting for the trophy, you're fighting for the chance to have that better position once you do go to Korea here in only a few short weeks. But all of that can be talked about in the future, because right now it's all about the best of 5 in front of us today.
All right, let's jump right into draft here and see, because LYON have had the advantage of seeing the extra game and seeing the extra series of Team Liquid, although it was short, so not a lot of data to gather, Flowers. 3 quick games, but we'll see if LYON have prepared anything specifically to try and counter what Team Liquid showed yesterday. Meanwhile, Team Liquid get the advantage of, as we said, being warmed up from already playing on this stage.
You want to talk about something specific? LYON specifically saw Game 1 yesterday and said, you know what? Jose Dioto should not be on Lee Sin. That's the first ban of the draft for them, alongside the Rakan. Over on the other side, Team Liquid going to focus out a couple powerful junglers with the Nocturne and the Jarvan, as well as removing Bard from the pool, as Nefiri is the final ban for LYON. So that means starting off here, Kobe, it's 4 jungle bans and 2 support bans.
And I always like this approach from the side that LYON are on here with second pick, trying to attack specifics of what you just saw Team Liquid use yesterday, because you know Team Liquid invested time in prepping that Lee Sin and that Rakan.
Yeah.
Both of these things, the Rakan and the Lee Sin, used in game number 1 by Team Liquid to great effect. As Dokla is playing to the crowd, the Lee Sin and the Rakan, if you remember, those are the two that won the really big first Dragon fight for Team Liquid. They were the playmakers. After Cloud9 had gotten that Dragon, it was Jose on the Lee and Core on the Rakan that turned it back around. So the specifics are definitely there. All that being said, with the target bans, meant that Varus got through, and it means answered here very quickly with the Ezreal. Of course, Karma is up and available, and so we expect the Karma to follow. But we'll see what they end up locking very quickly here. They still could go for the Prio on jungle instead. They're leaving the possibilities here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, we've got the Xin Zhao locked in for the Lion side, wanting to have that in Inspired's hands in the first game. 80 carries both already selected, like you're talking about. Xin Zhao is another one of those highly played champions from Jose. Jarvan and Lee Sin also very commonly picked by him. So I'm curious where they're going to want to go on the Team Liquid side, considering Jose Diodo was just so important all series long yesterday and has been such a huge component of Team Liquid's success so far this split. Orianna, 100% presence in pick ban. That champion being left open is another one of the costs that you're talking about of all these target bans here in the first phase. So Quid pilots that in game 1.
Okay, so some choices now. You could either answer jungle and pick like a Trundle or something into the Xin, which is a good individual matchup, and then might dissuade Lion from going for a tank. Or, well, there you go. Have that
That's
immediately,
a pretty good guess.
is their thought as well. The other options, of course, I was going to elaborate on would be going for support early. But it seems they do value that counter pick even further than grabbing an early support here. And you can see there is also value in support counter pick. So let's see if they want to grab the Karma now for the Ezreal, or you can pair Ezreal as well with plenty of other things. You know, Nico still up and available as well, and those types of engaged supports. But we're going to get the steal away here. They're going to jump on it before Quid can get his hands on an Akali. Will Pickett's on the side of Lion. Not only is Saint very good in Akali, but you always want to put pressure on Orianna as far as the side lanes go, as far as the mid lane goes later on. Trying to get some kill pressure on the immobile carries here. So Akali just looks good in general. Into Varus, into Orianna.
Yep.
Neither of those two carries have escapes or ways to dodge very easily. So Saint is being set up here with some good targets for himself. And since your opponents are already showing that Trundle that we talked about, that does dissuade you a bit from going for the more tanky routes, since whoever is going to be your front line does have a hard time of trying to survive via stats, but you can try and survive via, you know, immunities and stuff like that, like the Xin Zhao ult trying to get the range discrepancy there. And we'll see. The Nautilus being banned out here because Lion don't want to deal with any easier point and click. One of the only things you can do against Akali is get some point and click and get some things that will reveal her in her shroud is another option.
So Poppy banned away, Nautilus banned away, Karma obviously kept away from her good buddy Ezreal down there in the bottom lane. One ban left to go for the Team Liquid side. I'm curious if they want to further target support, since we have already had a decent amount of support focus so far in the draft, but no, instead they're going to get rid of the Gnar. They don't want Dokla to be able to bring that one to the table.
And that's a pretty good one, since Team Liquid are showing the Trundle like we talked about. You don't want to go like full tank stats, and so a Gnar would be a good kind of in between that Lion could go for. So I do like that ban. Taking away some of those options. And then Alistar, you can still rely on your ultimate, even if Trundle can steal your tank stats. Can't steal,
it's just damage reduction.
Yeah, can't steal your actual damage reduction from your ultimates. So very good option here for Lion to try and work around this Trundle. And it gives you the engage here to try and set up the Akali. Try and put even more pressure on those low mobility carries Team Liquid are wielding.
All right, TL, what's the answer going to be to the Alistar? We know that this champion is not particularly a powerful laner. Generally early on, you're going to have to cede control in that lane. But Nico is the exact opposite. Nico can have a lot of pressure in the lane, especially next to something like the Varus. LYON and CoreJJ will be able to play this bottom side 2v2 from a position of strength.
All right, let's see what the blind pick for topside is going to be with the Gnar band out. Renekton does look very good here. Not too many hard counter answers available, and going for a like Quinn would be in Dokla's wheelhouse, though. You know, he does like going for some counter pick range tops. So, you know, Morgan goes, you know what? Actually, we're going to blind pick Sion instead. Little bit easier, especially since we're the ones already with the Trundle. We guarantee that we are going to have a stronger front line. Only problem is Akali doesn't really fight front to back. She goes.
She fights dirty.
Yep, she fights dirty. She goes straight to the back line instead. Okay. Good answer here, honestly. I do like this answer with the Shen because it gives Akali a dive buddy, and it's a good matchup into other tanks, into Sion. As long as you can get your Q pass-throughs with your Keyblade, get some very good tank trading up there, and you can remain fairly safe. Plus, the block zone is also very good if Trundle ganks you, can deal with the bite as well. So Dokla classically been very good with weak side rolls as well as with counter pick options. So now he's going to be up on the top side, weak side for both him and Morgan.
And it's kind of like what you were talking about with Alistar. You're up against Trundle, who's going to use Subjugate to steal your traditional defensive capability through armor and MR. Alistar has damage reduction through the Unbreakable Will. Shen has damage elimination through Spirit's Refuge. Those auto attacks aren't going to matter. I think they did a good job kind of sidestepping around the Trundle issue here in the first game. But it's like you said, with Trundle and Sion, that is a big front line. So this Akali with the Shin on top, the Ninja Missile needs to find its target onto those carries because you're not fighting front to back.
Plus, I think it is always a important thing to try and get a good individual matchup or jungle matchup into Inspired so that you can try and put some pressure there. We'll see if the Trundle does try and play off. I would say specifically bottom lane would be a good place for Jose to play off of. If the Trundle can play off of the Varus and Nico lane and maybe use that to go for some invades on Inspired and put Inspired under a little bit of pressure, that could be a way for Team Liquid to destabilize the Lion shot calling process or take away some of Inspired's potency.
All right, so loading in here, we've got the Doran's Helm start for both Morgan and Dokla. The less effective early sustain item compared to the shield, but scales so much better, just gives you the extra health, the extra resistances. And looking down here in the bottom side, nobody's gonna try to do anything super crazy early. Again, I wouldn't expect any sort of really risky early gambits from the Lion side, considering Alistar's early weak lane.
Yeah, and should be the Team Liquid duo gaining lane priority here. They're getting some harassment down while they're doing it as well. Isles is fighting for the brush control here, though. Does get the sweeper, and they don't get the last auto onto the ward here.
And you can see on the left side of your screen, this is TL versus Lion in 2026. The series score has favored Lion 3-0 over TL, but the game score 8-4 means that these haven't just been sweeps. These haven't just been stomps favoring Lion. TL has been competitive, but they haven't solved the equation yet.
Yeah, exactly. This one has been fairly close, and that's why I think it's important to examine the game score and the individual game play as well in their series versus Lion. So let's see if they can actually come out ahead this time around. Full best of 5 we're hoping for today. Yesterday it was fairly quick, but on this bottom side, they are getting the pushback here for Berserker and Isles. Now that Alistar has access to the combo, being level 2, having the options there, and both junglers are pathing down towards that bottom side, so expecting the confrontation there, and then you'll get the fight over the Scuttle Crab. But with the bottom pushing here for Berserker and Isles, feels pretty confident.
Yesterday was a down payment on fun. We had to get the 3-0 done so that we could have the 3-2 one way or the other today. There's nothing quite like silver scrapes in an arena, and I hope that these teams both have everything ready to go today.
I love it. The early call
back.
for silver scrapes. We're calling for it at 2 minutes and 40 seconds into game one.
Yes, I am, Kobe. We had to do a fast 3-0 yesterday, and I want some action back and forth here today as Jose Nyoto makes his way down into the bottom lane, chasing after Berserker, who tries to get all the way out and does make enough distance. Berserker and Isles surviving the gank there, but not for free. It's the heal from the Alistar, the flash from the Ezreal, but also CoreJJ committing both summoners of his own to try to make it happen.
Exactly. Offensive used summoner spells can be punished just as easily as defensively used ones. But I do kind of like the look, you know, the Trundle here with the pretty quick clear and move down there. Inspired did look for a wraparound, but because they've already started their recalls and backed off here for the TL side, no point in investing extra time because you do need to get back in time for your second clear, your respawn for those Krugs. And so he's going to go for the recall, full reset up to the top side here. Both of them with the exact same reset and purchase.
Yes, sir. Just a little bit of stats early on with your Ruby Crystals and Long Swords. As Inspired clearing out these Krugs. If he tries to make a move towards the top side, obviously you do have a little bit of vision up there placed down by Morgan. Quid in this mid lane matchup against Saint. You talked a little bit about it in the draft. Obviously, Orianna is a very powerful laner. She is a very powerful team fighter. There's a reason she has so much draft presence, draft priority so far this split. And Akali is the answer because the weakness to Orianna is the side laning. If that pressure is there, especially if Saint can get a kill or two early in some skirmishes, if LYON can force that, it can really create a frustrating and dangerous situation for Quid.
Yeah, when you get access to that Akali ultimate, definitely have to feel the threat of the all-in. Looking for that kill pressure, but both junglers smoothly into their second clears, so nobody dropping any time or anything. Trundle was like a couple seconds ahead of the Xin, with just the basic clear speed last time around, so got the gank off on bottom side, but no problem there for Jose anyway. Still got up there for the top crab after his reset, and so they split very evenly. Saint trying to do a little bit of work here on the trade as he approaches level 6.
Yep, and now that he's ticked that over, Quid is going to have to be very conscious of how much HP he has at any given time for the Akali all-in.
And you're going to have to constantly call the Shen, state, the Shen health, the Shen game state up there, so that you have to be cognizant. Can this Shen really stand united one of the cross-map plays, or does Morgan have him under enough pressure that the Shen would lose a tremendous amount by doing so? Of course, Doklet does have his teleport still available, as neither of them have gone back to base at all, but they are trading fairly heavily on health, and Morgan is keeping the push with his Scion, so does have the extra little bit of advantage there. Inspired still going to go down, start up this dragon with the first charge of Smite used, so he can get access. And Jose, can they even walk in? I think with the Akali creeping around, Akali had mid priority, so gets to go into the brush there.
Yep, Saint is hanging around the area. Jose is going to approach the river now, potentially look for an angle onto Saint, who goes for the Shuriken flip instantly to create some distance away from the traffic cone. Immediately pops the smoke and just walks it off. Back in the draft, we were kind of talking about how the Trundle prevents certain enemy champions from working out super well. He duels Xin very effectively early on. However, Akali, one of the best answers into a ball of stats like Trundle is to simply not engage with his stats. So Akali being able to pop that smoke, you just walk away from him. It's very difficult to do a whole lot for her with that Trundle. So easy enough for Saint to walk away from it. As now, once again, he keeps the pressure onto Quid, dashes in for the perfect execution, forces the flash out of the Team Liquid mid laner. Saint's got control in mid.
It's beautiful for Saint because he's also doing a good job tracking enemy jungle. You know, after they did the pass-through and just saw the jungle previously for Jose, nobody's going to interrupt him, so he knows that he can go in for the pressure trade onto Orianna, and every time you use your ultimate for the flash is a very good trade, plus you got a large health bar exchange there, so he gets to push the minion wave in too. It's just very, very good stuff here from Saint on the Akali, and it sets you up for the next time that your ult comes up. The perfect execution will be ready. The flash will not for the Orianna. So you can try and, collaborate with some of these plays. Your jungle, maybe your Shen, maybe even your Alistar gets a roam timer up there.
Well, speaking of timers, we have the swap timer here as LYON and CoreJJ have made their way into the top lane now, and you're going to see the teleport from Morgan taking his position down here in the bottom side of the map with the first Drake already gone. The only objective that's going to be available to fight for here for a little while will be the Void Grubs, and it's Team Liquid who has control over this top lane right now with those about to spawn. CoreJJ walking back up, disguised as Jose Diodo, who is coming up towards this topside river right now, passing through mid lane. Saint still no perfect execution cooldown ready just yet, has about 1/4 of that left to go. Jose can start up the Void Grubs. Core and LYON have so much control over the top side, they can rotate right on down. This should be an easy pickup for Team Liquid.
Yeah, really nice swap from Team Liquid, and getting some time, as we're seeing right now on screen. A cannon minion going into the dirt. Top side was able to get the early pressure, as you're saying, into the Void Grub, so good kind of movement there. Of course, LYON did get that earlier dragon that we had been talking about, so they already had that one in the bag. But TL are doing quite nicely, and Morgan especially is farming up very well. The Soul Furnace here for the Scion with some good CS numbers for himself.
And I always like seeing Team Liquid make these earlier macro movements across the map, deciding how they're going to assign roles, assign positions all over the Rift. You remember back when Team Liquid was the team to beat in the LCS, when they were always the top dogs. The last time they won a championship, Spring 2024, it was back in lane swap meta, and Team Liquid was one of the best lane swap teams that there was. They were so effective at it. They were so much better. Their understanding of the macro game was so good, and it felt like it really hit them the hardest when everybody just decided, no more lane swaps, it's dead, it's gone, we're getting rid of it. It was a gut punch to Team Liquid. So seeing them be able to rotate around like that, it's always the TL I like to see.
Yeah, and it's a pivotal point because CoreJJ is still on this team. Yeah, Team Liquid did rebuild a lot of pieces, the whole top side, but CoreJJ and LYON still on the squad, and CoreJJ is a very pivotal part of a lot of that macro that does go on for this team. A lot of the shot calling. He is a leader. He is a huge veteran of the league, of course, which is in stark comparison to Isles in this series, in this matchup. And although Isles has really done a very good job and overperformed a lot of people's expectations this year, the difference in experience and accolades is very clear between these two supports. Core being such a veteran, but it's been a really nice surprise and story for LYON that Isles has had a lot of success since lock-in playoffs. Here we go, though, with another swap to the top side.
Yep, there's the Chains of Corruption. Dokla tries to get away, but the follow-up damage is extreme. The first blood goes over to CoreJJ as Isles teleports up, wants to see if there's anything to grab, but Jose Diodo has also arrived to the scene, so LYON won't get anything back, and Team Liquid strike first.
Really nice, another swap for them, and it is successful. It is CoreJJ, the veteran, that actually does get the last hit, last little bit of damage. So, he gets the lion's share of the gold, which isn't ideal, but at least you got the gold.
Yeah, because they killed a guy from LYON. I get that. I like that. MasterCard item power spike right there. The Sunfire Aegis completed from Morgan. This is not a commonly seen item. I feel like Sunfire has greatly fallen out of popularity over the last couple of years, but that's going to be the option here for the extra wave control, the extra push. Dokla on the Shen, still building towards his Titanic, but since Team Liquid made the play up there in the top side with multiple players, that means that Inspired now sees the opportunity to go after Drake number 2 as it spawns. They've got control over this bottom side river, and he should get this without any issue.
Yeah, I mean, LYON are going to keep getting the dragons, but TL with their swaps have 1,000 gold lead here, plus the first blood kill that CoreJJ was able to get. But also, it's showing up again. We got to keep highlighting Morgan CS looking very good, and that Sunfire Cape damage does scale with your HP, which Scion, of course, gets a bunch of bonus HP when he does farm really well like this, and the Soul Furnace does do a lot of work. But we're getting another one of these invades where you see CoreJJ linking up with Jose, very well coordinated by TL, getting that deep vision in this side of the map. Quid under attack again. No!
Yep, it's both ninjas going after him at the same time. Dokla arrives, Quid gets away, a beautiful flash. and Dokla and Saint are not going to get it done. Quid's Shockwave slows him down. He gets out. Yes, it costs him that summoner spell, but that's Stand United off the table now, and LYON and Core JJ are going to use the opportunity to continue mining money off of these top lane plates.
You said it. Great timing there from Quid. Right as the Shen arrives, you know Shen is going to go for that taunt immediately upon arrival. So he flashes it, creates the distance, he survives again, and although they keep burning Quid's flash, they haven't been able to take him down, but here's another look. Berserker under fire, getting poked a lot at this top turret, and Team Liquid, they want that first turret bonus in addition to the first blood bonus, so all this gold focus going for TL. Yes, while LYON have been able to stack their 2 dragons, Team Liquid have had really good calls, really good swaps and plays to get themselves well positioned in this game.
They have got a lot of money right now. Core JJ up 1,000, Morgan up 1,000, LYON up 500. The only gold advantage for the LYON side is Inspired. And remember, when we were looking at what the Lounge was talking about at the start of the day, comparing these 2 junglers, Inspired is often someone who's going to be maximizing his path. He's going to have a lot of gold just because he's so efficient with his clears, but he is going to have to get involved and try to make something happen here because Kobe, 2,500 gold, 13 minutes into the game is a pretty significant lead.
Yeah, and we'll see how they utilize that when they move them around because they've got plenty of poke damage. Really good at sieging here with the Varus, of course. And with that gold, you're getting your key item completions in. The Proto Belt here for Core JJ makes the Nico an intensely aggressive engager. Alistar is usually a really good answer, though, and that's why they've drafted it with the headbutt. If you can try and mark that Nico, find Core JJ, who is usually very sneaky and hard to keep track of. But if Isles can track him, then Alistar is usually a very good answer. He's this the bouncer of Summoner's Rift. Try and keep that Nico engage away.
Just toss him right back out of the club. Inspired, also important to note here, because for so long the guaranteed Xin Zhao build was just like, you know, Sundered Sky, standard AD Bruiser stuff. This is the more new age Titanic Hydra into the Dusk and Dawn. This thing does surprising amounts of damage. It can really catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. So now Jose Diodo gonna look for Saint. Quid could be the target as Core JJ with a Pop Blossom just wants to contain the Akali. Back over the wall goes Saint, and Jose is ready for the follow. Saint continuing to try to run, but the Subjugate is on, and they even pass the kill off to LYON. Team Liquid couldn't be happier with that.
And look at that timer on the Shen Stand United, too. It's still down from the offensive play they tried to go for. Team Liquid, I feel like they are crispy clean this game so far. 3,000 now, the gold lead for them. They're keeping track of these timers on the windows that they need to go aggressive. They go aggressive. They've been avoiding, so far, a lot of the LYON offensive plays, and because of it, TL have accrued a very nice mid-game gold lead here, which sets you up to put a stop to the Dragon stacking before it really becomes a problem.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking at. That 1 minute and 5 second timer up there in the top left right now. You let LYON get one more of these, then you kind of have a problem. Then you have to deal with every single possible dragon for the rest of the game being the soul. But I feel like right now, if you show up to that bottom side river with all 5 from Team Liquid and you say, all right, you got to fight us for this, LYON probably doesn't want anything to do with that.
Definitely would be dangerous. TL gonna go ahead and get the objective that's available already. Pick up the Rift Herald before the dragon spawns. Still got 40 seconds to work with there to get down to the other side. They can melt right through this thing, and look at the map right now. So pushed in for LYON. They're just trying to deal with the sideways. So TL have a pretty easy, again, window to go for this objective, pick it up without much of a cost. Akali is about to get up to that bottom side turret, but TL have already made the call. They send Morgan down here, so one minion wave is going to drop to the turret as well as some turret plates to Akali. But we'll see if this Akali can find effect in the team fights later on, can really put that pressure back onto Quid, back onto LYON, who are going to have their flashes, because Quid's timer on his flash is coming right back up right now. So, again, really good timer for them. Orianna now does have the flash back and available. They're going to use the Herald mid first for mid-priority flowers. It's a good checklist here for Team Liquid. Again, going straight by the numbers. Shen, though, has pushed in topside and getting turret plates, so doing some work up there. I think that they're going to look for the wraparound. Lion looking to engage.
Yep, Isles is going to lead the charge in, but now Inspired's the first target here from Morgan. Dokla waiting, seeing if there's an opportunity here for the Sand United. Hosvioto very low, is assassinated now by Saint after securing the Drake. Lion looking for more here in the fight as Berserker puts bullets into Morgan, but the Scion very tanky. Lion still walking away now as Berserker shifts back to a defensive posture.
Yeah, the Akali and the Alistar getting around there into the Dragon to assassinate the enemy jungler, even though Team Liquid do get the Dragon. Lion get one kill for themselves. Still definitely not worth for them as TL continue to push, but here we go. Now the flank.
Yeah, now Lion wants to really try to make that punish. Here comes Saint yet again, throws the 5-point strike into Quid. Yon and CoreJJ continue to try to disengage. Core make a distance from down. That was beautiful. Quid with the shockwave just lines it up for Yon to shoot him down.
Holy! Quid is able to hit him with the shockwave into the snipe. Team Liquid, although they do drop a single player there, Jose, after going down at the Dragon, they still keep their eyes on the objective. So here it is. Alistar goes straight in and Saint wrapping around. As you can see, Inspired's on the top side and pops the Xin ult, so he's kind of distracting on the other side, but Shen ult is used. They get their assassination off, and then TL say, fine, we're going to try and peel here. We use our flash to exit. CoreJJ used everything to try and peel. They can still walk it out. Morgan is very healthy, very tanky from how well he has done early in the lane phase. And then with this teleport in for the flank, they're able to get it. Look, you tag the Akali, you see the shadow, the damage of the tag there gets the little effect so you know where he is, and they pull off the shot.
Nice. Nice.
Nice,
Nice. Good job. Huge.
All the AoE damage, very effective versus Akali. So they get the damage from CoreJJ, they get the damage from Quid, and then Yon lands the snipe as well for himself. And so even though, you know, they do drop one person, do the assassination with the double ninja, they still are able to keep their eyes on the prize and keep the gold lead around that 3,000 mark.
And speaking of the prize, remember that Quid was the prize player of the offseason, right? When you were looking at everybody going into 2026, everybody was looking for Quid. There were so many different rumors back and forth. He ends up going over to Team Liquid. He had such a good performance on 100 Thieves, but then for a while, it wasn't quite living up to the hype, this performance, this expectation. But now, since we've gotten to the playoffs especially, he's been doing such a good job. He's been such a big performer for the Team Liquid side. And having the synergy like that, just to have the communication and trust in each other, okay, I'm going to shockwave him as long as you hit him, that just means that Saint teleported in only to lose his own life. And now 3 seconds on the clock until the Baron spawns. It's still Team Liquid 3,000 gold lead, but I don't expect any crazy early Barons unless they can get a pick first, as Saint gets another wave shoved up here in the top side, then has to take his retreat. Remember, Team Liquid has already secured all 3 outer turrets from LYON. LYON have yet to claim a single structure.
And they're kind of creeping around on the top side. Both teams thinking about this allocate. They're teleporting down to bottom, so they're going to double solo lane bottom attack right here. They're going to try and take down this Shen.
Exactly, you go after the Shen because he can't protect himself. Decimating Smash knocks him up into the air. Quid should have more than enough damage to take this guy out. Dokla tries to go for the taunt, but it ain't gonna work. Dokla falls, Quid gets the kill.
And then Morgan's gonna have teleport as well as Yon has teleport here, remember, on the Varus, so they still have the ability to go for the defensive play on the other side of the map. The cost is still gonna be the outer tower, but those outer towers fairly fragile this late into the game, and they hold on to Morgan's teleport and Yon's teleport, just investing the Orianna there to grab the kill. All the meanwhile, they also get the push in mid, so 2 lanes get pushed out here for TL. Another very good call from them, good play for them. Yeah, they dropped the top tower, but getting turret play on bottom afterwards here for Quid, also quite nice, and Yon is just quite rich. The entire bottom lane here for Team Liquid, with some very, very healthy leads for themselves.
Yeah, 2-0-1 on that Varus. We talk about how dangerous it can be when you're playing one of these immobile AD carries up against an Akali with a Shen on top, with a Xin Zhao as the enemy jungler. But Yon's done a great job of positioning aggressively enough to have very high farm, to have this super accelerated economy, but never actually putting himself in danger of getting picked off.
And we'll see how effective his poke damage can be in this game, in this entire series, actually. Teleports right back out, so they're getting here very quickly. Dragon is only 13 seconds away, so double teleports invested for Team Liquid. They just got fresh purchases for both LYON and Morgan here. Morgan with the Jack show done for Sion, so Morgan is going to be a very tanky boy, and they've got vision control.
Spire takes a little bit of damage. Nothing crazy, though. Morgan going forward through the enemy blue buff jungle, just trying to create a little bit of extra space. CoreJJ does not land Tangle Barbs onto Isles, but some additional poke from the rest of the squad does. The Alistar already down to half.
Okay, so remember they use both teleports, so who's going to go over to catch that top wave? Because top is getting split pushed up to the tower. Shen, Dokla over there already at the tower, and it's going to be Quid that they do decide to send over. So Dokla out a little bit, but Team Liquid still. They're able to zone off and now.
Yep, there's some danger for Isles, who immediately has to pop Unbreakable Will just to save himself. Saint looking again for that flank angle, but there's nothing to flank. The fight's already over. Isles can no longer participate, and that wins Team Liquid control over the top side river. They can continue establishing vision, controlling this area, even though they didn't get a kill.
Okay, Team Liquid, Dragon number 2 acquired for themselves. Looking pretty good. Can LYON get a real assassination off on either Quid or LYON? Last time around, getting it onto the jungler inside the Dragon pit is one thing, but for a team fight, I mean, Quid is already approaching level 16 very quickly. He just ticked his Rod of Ages over, so he's 15, and look at the experience bar, almost 16 for the Orianna level up for level 3 Shockwave. And so if you can't burn the flashes here of the Orianna, of the Varus, then your Akali flanks, even with your Shen stand united on them, might be hard to pull off. Team Liquid, as long as they have flashes available for their carries, their comp is still very, very strong, especially in front to back with their Trundle Sion again being such an incredible front line. Let's see here, though. Jose is going for a little bit of a wrap around. Inspired's looking at him. They still have the control wards here and plenty of vision for TL, but LYON are working around, but they haven't been able to create quite much for themselves.
I don't think LYON have created much of anything at all this game. They managed to grab those first couple of Drakes, sure, but those both came at the cost of Team Liquid being able to get other things with their map rotations.
There they
LYON
go.
now going to make a move to start up this Baron. Xin Zhao does a lot of healing with the Dusk and Dawn build. Baron pretty much doesn't matter for him. So if Team Liquid is not aware that this might be happening, okay, Ward over the wall is going to see Inspired. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Inspired just solos this down slowly over time. Berserker over the wall, of course, could have contributed with the Mystic shots. Morgan is going to continue forcing Berserker away. I like the attempt there from LYON, because if Team Liquid was not aware, that could have turned into something pretty sketchy, pretty quick. But TL sniffs it out. Saint still in the enemy jungle prowling around, but doesn't look like he'll find anything here just yet. But no, what I was saying is it felt like Team Liquid have been the ones making the plays, making the calls, deciding what's going to happen and where, and LYON haven't been able to find any counter punches of their own.
Certainly has been the case. See if it continues that way. Next Dragon is 2.5 minutes away. LYON have some time to lie and wait, look for some of these plays. Scryer's Bloom does tag the ward there. Saint still trying to hide, but does get the Orianna ball to check for vision, and now you've got CoreJJ up there too, so looks like Team Liquid have it under control. Jose, though, not showing on bottom, but hovering on this side of the map. They know that with the Baron available, a play would have to be very quick. They've got teleports ready, though, so they could go for a little something here. With a Trundle, of course, the ultimate you can always use to actually go after tanks, but they're going to just give him a little love tap as Morgan deals with the wave. The old smack and a chop.
Yep, just takes a bite out of him, has to walk back away. Isles goes in there for the headbutt pull, and that forces the flash at a CoreJJ. Pretty big deal, actually, considering Nico Flash can be so powerful in a team fight. LYON also losing over half his HP there, trading back and forth with Berserker, both 80 carry ults, now also off the table, as Inspired and Isles are still hanging around, seeing if there's something they can find here. Isles is spotted on the ward. They're in the brush. Saint off to the left, too.
Okay, CoreJJ with no flash on Nico is going to be really, really helpful for LYON. That is a big, big part for the surprise engage that comes from Team Liquid. And LYON at least are keeping up their split pushing. Dokla gets a tower on the bottom side, too. So they are able to get the cross-map play, and they cut the Team Liquid gold back down to 2,000. LYON remaining very calm here, continuing to play their split push, continuing to play their other side of the map, and you saw Berserker go a little bit aggressive there. You know, step one is basically get your spell shield off of LYON. You know, break that, and then their step number 2 would be trying to get his flash, but they're unable to really get much more after that. So looks like we are going to have the Dragon number 3 set up here. Whichever team gets it will be the third one, and Isles already into a pretty deep flank here with the control ward, as well as his own vision by Tribush. Has some confidence that this is unknown to Team Liquid, but it's not going to be unknown for too long. Let's see, taking away the blast cone at the very least.
Perhaps it will be. They haven't gone and spotted out that Alistar here just yet. So Isles will pass back towards that Tri-Brush, staying on the backside of the Dragon Pit. You can see a teleport coming in now as Team Liquid wants to have everybody ready to participate in this battle. Here we go. Dragon started up. It'll be number 3 for whoever secures it. Morgan arrives here with the extra big shield from the TP. He's just going to lead the charge into the pit. Inspire jumps over the wall. CoreJJ could be in danger. No, he gets himself back away. There's the Pop Blossom, but it only finds Isles, who wants to go forward. It's Open Saint into the back line. Yon's in trouble with the shockwave, protects him. Saint gets the assassination. Shut down credit for the Akali, but the kills go back the other way. Team Liquid has already lost both bottom laners. Lions finding their fight. The Dusk Dawn Brawlers have found their angle. Hosdioto's about to fall too as Dokkan Berserker continue fighting. It is a 4-for-2, and Lion roar to life.
They get the flank, they get the assassination, and they take down both Team Liquid carries here. Lion diving under the tower to finish the job, and they will be able to get the third Dragon for themselves, setting up Soul Point.
Beautifully done from Lion.
Nico has no flash.
So they don't know where I am.
I will find maybe go on Nico. You can maybe go on Nico.
Yeah, Nico no flash, guys. Yeah, Nico no flash. Really far there, but I'm coming.
Take it slow, take it slow. Okay, we are going.
Varus.
Varus flash.
I can keep Varus.
Go Nico after, I will block this.
Sorry, over the wall.
Okay. I die, but...
Go from... Oh, we are going.
Oriana.
Has flash, I think.
Splash. I'm coming, guys. Okay.
I'm dead now.
Drop.
Can you drop?
He has flash, Sam.
Dragon or Nash?
Dragon.
Break, I think.
Frustration on the face of Spawn in the Team Liquid coaching room, but you saw as soon as Lion said, all right, it's time to go, everybody full sent it. It's those 2 Dusk Dawn Bruisers that I'm talking about, topping the damage charts, and when they dive in on top of Yon's Varus, Saint uses the execution to dive through him. The Chains of Corruption completely miss, and after that, Varus has no way out.
Yeah, Lion are able to get very easy access to the backline, to the Varus and the Oriana here. Nice moves from them. But first, they started by attacking the Nico. The CoreJJ, as we mentioned, when he had no flash here, and they are targeting and marking that big AoE ultimate, and they force it out with just the Alistar inside of it. It is a huge win for Lion's side. So, good comms and good targeting from them. As we said, you got to mark that Nico, goes right after him, and then it opens up, so they're able to get a really good flank and pincer movement onto the Varus, and then chaining it into the Oriana. And they don't let up. You see, as soon as they get a little momentum in the team fight there, they're diving under the tower to finish the job, get themselves Dragon number 3. And now it's a little bit more dangerous here for TL, or a lot more dangerous, because neither carry, in addition to dying, they also both don't have flashes now. So have to be very, very careful when they're even farming waves.
So I think that, oh boy, hold on, we don't have time to think. Quid is getting dove yet again. Defensive shockwave, not enough this time. Hosdioto wants to get one back, but there's no way. Lion have found the pick on the enemy Oriana, and now with that critical carry down, Baron is up, and Lion control the top side river.
Yeah, you have to be so careful. You have no flash. Your low mobility carries farming side wave. Can't even walk through your own jungle because Lion have already infiltrated. They took over the vision, and now with the Baron force, here comes TL. They're going to try and fight him out.
Team Liquid going in. The Baron already down to about 1/3 HP. Saint still on the left flank of the fight. Morgan going to soak a lot of damage here on the front line as the Baron partially resets. Team Liquid staying as a 4-man unit. Saint still staying over the wall. Morgan continuing to be tanky. Inspire jumps over, goes after Hosdioto here a little bit, but it's a lot of damage on to the Lion jungler. Keeping himself protected right now with the Crescent Guard. Inspired still alive, has plenty of HP through the healing. The Guardian Angel also available. CoreJJ here with a pop blossom defensively, but again it's Saint finding the kill on LYON. Morgan has to flash over the wall just to stay alive, and the Akali is still in the fight. LYON is still on the Baron, and they get the objective and an extra kill to boot. Isles falls though, as Quid has made his way back onto the Rift, and Team Liquid looks for more of a punish. You're gonna see the recall here from Saint. He doesn't have his teleport to rejoin the fight as the rest of the team has to try to get themselves away. Dokla eating some damage, flashes over the traffic cone, keeping himself alive for now. Berserker with the assassination, no! The flash out from CoreJJ lets him survive. Now Berserker's gotta be careful. The shockwave damage still catches him even through the arcane shift. Now Inspired trying to come and help his AD carry. Quid needs a little more damage, and he finds the ball over the wall. Saint goes on a killing spree as Morgan finally dies. LYON, holy moly, man, what a sequence.
Yeah, Team Liquid, they want to chase him down because they want to eliminate as many of the Baron buffs as they possibly could. They get 3 of them off the Rift, but critically, Saint keeps his. This Akali is insane. The split pushing threat. Look at the Saint flank around the backside. He's looking for the Varus again. He deleted LYON last time. He knows he doesn't have flash this time, so he went for the flash engage. He hit the E. He got out of CoreJJ's ultimate. It was just beautiful there by Saint on the wraparound. This Akali is destroying Team Liquid. The Baron, they were able to use it to draw Team Liquid in, focus them, and then they get the assassination.
Akali is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I will try to match.
Every AD carry ever.
Exactly. And remember the last time LYON even had flash, and Akali just doesn't care. Here we go, though.
Yeah, Inspired could be caught. Hosenioto keeping him locked up. Chains of corruption. Forces at least to stand united, but Isles ready for the counterattack. And here's that Akali yet again. Pop Blossom onto multiple targets. Resurrection at least going to be forced here onto Inspired Xin-Zhao. CoreJJ already down. A nice shockwave comes through. A little bit more is not enough as a double kill for Saint. Means this fight is going LYON's way. Yet again, it will be an ace traded away for nothing as Team Liquid cannot keep up any longer. Morgan finally dies, and the reward is a LYON Ocean Soul.
Team Liquid played the early stages of the game well, but LYON just out-team fight them at every turn now. The Assassins doing their work, good flanks, and good kills, as you say. Not only is it a soul, but they're also going to take over a bunch of tower money. Here's another look. Inspired still has his Guardian Angel, so they're happy to kind of play the fight slow. Look at the mini-map. Akali is walking over, so they're buying time. They have the Shen ultimate now. They make the re-engage. As Akali arrives, Isles went for the headbutt combination. CoreJJ buys a little bit of time with the ulti, but it doesn't matter. They're all here now. The rest of LYON have arrived, and they're going to be able to get the assassination again. You see Saint into the back line. It's ridiculous. It's actually insane. Saint here, the first team all-pro mid laner, now has a death cap on the Akali, and he was murdering the back line of TL before he had the death cap.
And for those of you guys that missed the end-of-day press conference yesterday, one of the questions posed to CoreJJ was, how do you evaluate LYON's style? What are their win conditions? And he thinks for a second, and he says, farm and farm and farm and farm, and then you win. And that's what LYON did this game. I remember back at the 23, 24-minute mark, I was saying, I feel like LYON haven't done anything so far this game, because they hadn't. They were still in the farm and farm and farm phase. And then we get to the fights. We get to that dragon fight that changed the flow of the entire game. That was the pendulum swing where we went from farm and farm and farm to win. And now LYON stand poised with a 7,000 gold lead, with an Ocean Soul, with a gold graph that drops straight from the pretty blue mountains of Team Liquid into a sea of blood. And it's the Akali causing all of that violence.
And it's not like that Akali's the only threat or anything either. Okay, here we go. Now he's under threat.
Yep, he's already used the smoke. Shockwave pulls him back. Subjugate there, but no, again, Dokla's Stand Uniteds are keeping his team protected anytime they're under threat.
And you have to protect that Akali because he's worth 1,000 gold. He's a fully stacked bounty on him. So TL trying to attack him, and they do get the Stand United out for themselves, but you know, that is kind of a drop in the bucket at this stage in the game.
All right, Team Liquid They were in control for so long, but now it feels almost impossible to navigate these fights to be able to keep your Varus and your Orianna safe against this Akali. Look at the itemization. There is no Guardian Angel. There is no Seeker's Arm Guard. There is no Zhonya's Hourglass on these carries. There's nothing to really protect you from Saint.
And Saint is literally full build. If he could just upgrade that ring into a Medjai Soul Stealer.
Get the book
right now, if he felt like it. And definitely everyone would respect him. So let's see, as they move in, they have easy ways of split pushing. Shen, of course, does not have Stand United, but still has teleport, so no problem for him. And then Saint, of course, you know, he's so far ahead. He's got the intimidation factor, and Akali could pretty much kill anybody, so you got to give respect to that side lane too. Meanwhile, Team Liquid trying to clean their jungle of wards, clean it of some vision. At this stage, they're kind of hoping for the miracle comeback team fight. In order to do that, your step one is get your vision so that you can try and hopefully get some sort of play where you have numbers advantage or catch somebody by surprise within rotation. But LYON have been really locked in here. And it's hard to catch them out because Doukla's Stand United's coming back up. Berserker is on Ezreal, very mobile. And right now, Isles doing his work to try and keep that vision line up for LYON and keep the extra information available to them so that they can easily continue to hold this line of pressure and wait for the Baron to arrive. All that's left now, they can start it up once again. If Team Liquid come through the jungle, they do have an easy turn here from LYON off of the Baron and right back onto him. You thought he took no damage before, Flowers. Well, he's got an Ocean Soul.
He's got an Ocean Soul and a Death Stance. He's not taking any meaningful damage ever at all. Inspired and Berserker starting up the objective. Saint hanging off to the side. Again, you've got to track the Akali. CoreJJ trying to do just that, but instead he may die. Pop Blossom at least forces the stasis out of Saint. Now protected by the Stand United as they try to burst him down, but Saint is still alive. Douklao arrives for the two-man taunt as Jose Diodo and Morgan have to try to get back even further. Berserker still firing Mystic shots. Saint looking for his re-entry into the fight as the Ocean Soul heals him back up. Morgan tanking here in the front line. Very difficult to hurt the Scion. But again, it's LYON not under any real pressure. The Ocean Soul will make sure that unless Team Liquid can find a kill, they won't find anything at all.
Yeah, LYON are very happy if you trade some cooldowns here and make the fight long. They're just able to get lots of value out of the Ocean Soul. Team Liquid, though, they didn't take much damage at all, so they're fine to try and come back and re-engage.
Okay, Isles going to be focused here at the start. True Shot Barrage comes through there from Berserker as he and Inspired are about to finish the Baron already, and they've got it. Saint goes over the wall. Dokla absorbing the damage of the carries while Morgan does the same on the left side of the fight. Berserker goes forward. Morgan still under a little bit of pressure. Down to about 40% HP now as Inspired jumps in. Finds the knockup with a 3-talon strike. Goes defensive with a Crescent Guard. LYON continuing to push forward, but now deciding to pull it off a little bit further. Elder Dragon is in 45 seconds, and LYON wants to be prepared.
Yeah, it looks like they do have bot lane pushing, but going for the resets here after they've acquired the Baron. Gonna go spend a little bit of money first. Let's see about the setup. Okay, immediately teleporting back out. So Saint as well as Isles going back to base first. Quick little pit stop here. Berserker as well gonna go spend. So we have a little bit of time then on the reset here for it. 20 seconds on that Elder Dragon. And Team Liquid, this is your hope, Flowers. You're just hoping some sort of miracle happens in this. Maybe there's some crazy skirmish where the dragon gets low, you can steal it. They still have a very beefy front line, but becomes a little bit more problematic now. Okay, they're going for the split push. Dokla here, he does have a Stand United, so he's going to go up to the top side, put that extra pressure. It's going to be answered by LYON, who also has a teleport of his own.
All right. Dokla applying that top side pressure as Team Liquid know they can't afford to let this Elder Dragon go. This is probably their last chance here in the game. Berserker and Isles posturing aggressively. Inspired wrapping around the side of the plate, but it's Saint who's already gone in. Pressure onto Quid. They've got the Orianna down to 10% HP. Isles is ready to follow it up as Inspired continues the chase. Quid is running for his life as Team Liquid tries to scatter. Morgan stuck in the middle of everybody. Defensive Chains of Corruption will not be able to save the Scion. And Team Liquid is forced away.
Saint is actually a demon. He is an absolute demon here on the Akali. Just putting so much pressure. Quid has no flash now. Got completely chunked out on the Orianna, so he has to go all the way back to base. Yeah, you didn't kill him, but he's no flash and back in the fountain now, so they're starting up the Elder.
Dokla over the wall. LYON 33% HP. Dokwa goes in for the two-man taunt. He finds Quid. Again, the Orianna barely hobbles away, but they cannot fight. Both carries are nearly dead. Berserker already finds the first. Quid's about to be the second. Saint dives in. Saint goes legendary. Elder Dragon is acquired, but Elder Dragon's not even needed. A double kill for Berserker, an ace for LYON, and that'll be the end of game one.
Woo! Okay, well, Saint looking like the devil here, and Team Liquid, they're going down in game number one.
They are going down in game number one, but they were ahead for so very long. It all came down to that critical dragon fight. Once LYON had their items, once LYON farmed it up, LYON were a problem that Team Liquid couldn't solve. They'll take game one.
What an opener. Team Liquid in the early stages of the game, lots of good moves by them, but LYON just take over in these team fights very emphatically. Especially Saint deserves the shout out. The Akali constantly putting that pressure onto the Team Liquid carries. The low mobility Varus and Orianna constantly. We heard the comms listening. They were scared for their lives. They were like, what do we do? The Akali is so annoying. However, they also weren't unable to deal with the rest of LYON as well, even though Saint did have the spotlight on him. The rest of them doing their jobs in the team fight as well. So we'll get into game number two here, and we'll look for the adjustments from Team Liquid to hopefully push us to more games than we got yesterday, and see what sorts of changes they have to their team fights.
Okay, so Team Liquid have elected to go for first pick in this one. LYON are going to go ahead and continue banning out that Lee Sin and Rakan combo that you talked a lot about in draft number one. Those playmakers for Jose and CoreJJ, they don't want them to have access to that. Over on the TL side, it's going to be two of those powerful laning supports in the Karma and the Bard banned out. You're also going to see the Nocturne kept away from Inspired, another ban that echoes back from game number one.
Okay, Nocturne banned means side laning is a lot more powerful. Ryze, I feel like Ryze is really high priority right now with Orianna and Akali both off of the table from the previous game. I mean, both Saint and Quid, extremely good Ryze players. I don't know if you want to invest your first pick and build the entire comp around it, but with the way that the mid laners were influencing the previous game, I feel like an actualizer Ryze does go pretty hard here. Of course, Rumble Yone comps are also very effective for both of these teams as well. And so they could go this angle. Anivia and Cassiopeia are both still up, and both of those are very good answers to the Ryze.
Yeah.
So Team Liquid actually going for the Cassiopeia instead first here. A lot of teams have prioritizing Cassio ever since the changes and the Deathfire Touch edition. She really has been a powerhouse of an AP carry in the mid lane.
Yeah, that Cassiopeia, not going to blame you for first pick in that one, especially considering it's like her and Ori that are those top two mages, and Ori's just gone now since she managed to get through in that first game. But LYON's answer, they're going to pick up the Senna for themselves. Very, very powerful in the current iteration of the game. We'll see if they draft what they want to lane with that alongside it, and yes, indeed they do. Senna Nautilus here for the bottom lane of LYON.
Nice, okay, so this provides you a lot of angles to dive for because Nautilus is the point-and-click go button, and then Senna can, obviously with the Senna ultimate, help heal and shield up anybody that you want to dive, your jungler or your top laner that you're going to be able to get. So Senna and Nautilus really facilitates a lot of very good team fights, and especially against the Cassiopeia here. See what LYON can cook this time around. Because again, Team Liquid drafting a mid laner that is super high prio, but does not have a dash or much mobility. Just has to rely on the extra speed that she gets and trying to land the ultimate. So here we go. A favorite of mine, a favorite of a lot of people's, CoreJJ's Rel. This has been a classic for him with this champion, and we'll see if they can get those big dream engages to group people up and melt them down. With Rel and Cassiopeia, Miasma, it can really CC up a team fight.
Yeah, If Jarvan Rumble is the spicy hot pot, you've got Jarvan Cassiopeia to be the bucket of sludge. You trap them in the Cataclysm, Cassiopeia pukes on the floor. They can't even flash out of it anymore because they're grounded. You throw Core JJ Engage over the top. That is a nasty combo to deal with. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from Team Liquid, but how does LYON choose to LeBlanc?
El Santo with another assassin. Okay, so LeBlanc does not take over team fights like Akali does, though. I mean, nobody does what Akali does.
No, not quite.
Akali is one of one. LeBlanc, though, does have angles much more for poke if your opponents do not have point and click. And Flowers, while a Jarvan, Rel, and Cassio are all great, AoE engages, they are not instantaneous point and click against a very annoying blinking LeBlanc that is going to try and poke people out. So the Saint has another chance this game to use his mobility well. And you do also want to get map control with a LeBlanc pretty early on so that you can find angles for LeBlanc to roam around, to gank, to use the Fog of War to your advantage.
Now let's see what we're going to do in the second half of the draft. Then the Ziggs being banned away by LYON. They don't want to deal with a bot lane Ziggs that can, again, just offer more of that wombo combo and the huge AoE potential. Over on the Team Liquid side, they want to get rid of the Nefiri. Having that powerful assassin jungler alongside a LeBlanc could be a nightmare for keeping people safe.
Especially, again, with the Senna Nautilus that can facilitate a lot of things diving into the back line. Definitely agree there, Flowers. You don't want too many of those annoying champions go through. Inspired as well, very good at using the Nefiri to go for these invades. So the LeBlanc really does want one of those super nice AD junglers that puts a lot of threat to go with it, though. So we'll see what else. There's so many up and available right now that you could go for. Pantheon is like super easy because it's point and click for Inspired, and they could just set up LeBlanc combos on the Cassio. But you also want to be able to get around the Cassio Miasma and stuff like that and get angles to jump on her. So they go for the Rumble topside ban instead here, instead of trying to further whittle down on Inspired's champion pool. But lots of options available for him. You have Vi, you have Wukong, you have, as we said previously, the Pantheon is still up and ready too. So plenty of angles here he could go for another AD threat, and that is one of the three, which Wukong, of the ones that we stated, was the best team fighter of all of those. Yeah. Because of the AoE, and it really does serve quite a few purposes here. Noticing that Inspired has been tending a lot more towards the jungles that are also very good at team fighting, and he does a very good job at controlling that mid space in a team fight. Did it very well with the Xin in the previous game. Now on Wukong, utilizing the clone and the ultimate. Can do kind of similar things, creating some time.
Plus, it gives you multi-target engage, right? Nautilus is very good at engaging on single targets, but Dredgeline and Depth Charge, both just for that one value target. Cyclone being able to disrupt multiple Team Liquid players at once, and TL are going to go ahead and lock in the Corki there for the combo with Rel in the bottom lane against the Senna Nautilus.
Okay. Not a lot of fans at the Corki in the audience, it sounded like, but we'll see.
Because he was hovering fun stuff first.
Yeah, sure. I guess it's just not as fun as the previous hover. Speaking of not fun is, actually getting a cheer here. Gragas is very good for blind picking, but is just kind of a generalist. Isn't going to be a super exciting lane. You can farm really easy. You sustain really easy into pretty much all matchups. So regardless here, Morgan should have, at the very least, an okay time. But Dokla is a early... okay, it's not going to be the Anivia. Nope. I mean, so you could just run out of mana trying to harass the Gragas for Anivia on top side. But Dokla definitely invested a lot of time onto that champion. But he's also just going to go tank route for top side, make it a little bit more stable there for LYON.
All right, so two very different goals, it feels like, with these comps. Which one do you like better, especially considering what we know about the two teams that was kind of displayed in Game 1 with Team Liquid active style versus LYON farming style and to hands check you?
To me, I have so many painful memories of if you're playing against a LeBlanc that gets fed and you don't have point and click, it is so hard to deal with her. So I mean, Saint had a really good performance in the previous game. Of course, if LeBlanc doesn't get fed, then it's, the champion's not dangerous at all.
Magic mosquito.
Yeah, exactly. A little mosquito. So definitely depends on if he can get the money to have threat behind it. But I would say that could be very annoying to deal with. Things like a body slam flash on Gragas can be an answer, though, because although it's not point and click, it's incredibly quick. Yeah, and if they get close, it's really easy to hit anyways, even though it's not, technically point and click. There's not a lot of answers to that, so they could try and use that, but you do need flash to also be able to make that one work and actually catch her.
All right, let's get into it. Game number 2. Team Liquid would love to repeat the early game from that first head-to-head we saw, but they've got to make sure that when the time comes for the game-deciding fights, that they're ready to decide the game in their own favor. They have these tools, they have this combo potential, and I want to see them put it to work. Jose Diodo on his Jarvan, on one of his most played. We know this guy can accelerate the game on this champ.
And Team Liquid here should have a really consistent team fight available to them. As long as they can get good vision coverage to work with. Interesting level 1 as they went straight through mid. Team Liquid bullying their way in to split the map here. They've got the Corki Rel, so Senna looking to stack souls and looking to scale up, but LYON aren't done. They're going to try and retake, fight over the Raptors here. Here comes Inspired. There goes.
Yeah, Jose Diodo. He dodges the dredge line, but now Team Liquid going all the way in, trying to find enough damage here onto Saint, but no. Isles and Saint both getting away, both having to use their flashes to do so, coming at the cost of CoreJJ's flash as well.
Yeah, nice dodge on the dredge line, and Team Liquid have the Corki there. Can be a very, very dangerous. Foss bomb pretty good here before a lot of people have ways to deal with anything, and they're going to split the map. So the Senna that wants to be able to farm souls. Now Jose, actually, Isles is not done with him.
No, Jose Diodo trying to get a little bit extra here, but Isles is aware, forces the flash out of the Jarvan.
And again, it's because Inspired there, he just did Wolves. Ran away, went to go do the Wolves, and then come back to retake. They, under no circumstances do they want this map to be split. They do not want it to get split against Senna, who needs the time to scale up. This Doran's Helm, Senna, that's gotten so popular and looks to collect souls and farm up. A Corki, especially once you get to your Trinity Force Spike, there's this very big differences in burst damage there. And if the jungle is going to split it against you, it's going to really hinder Senna's ability to scale. So Inspired wants to retake, and with the help of Isles, he does retake his bottom side.
And with everything finally calming down a little bit here, never mind, things aren't calming down just yet. Isles, again, just taking a chunk of damage. Remember, there is no flash left on this Nautilus. He does have to be more mindful than normal of how aggressive he postures himself in this lane. But it does look like we are finally calmed down a little bit. So with some breathing room, here's a look at LYON deciding what Saint got to play here in the second game.
I mean, Saint is on fire today. Maybe we should just give him LeBlanc then. You want LeBlanc, Saint?
LeBlanc.
And now we've got a turret slaying Dokla as we get back into the game. So go ahead, take the execute on that one. Make sure that he denies that kill potentially from going the other way. Doesn't want to give away the first blood there.
Saint getting what he called for. He's on fire, so he gets to choose, gets his LeBlanc, see what he can do with it this game. Meanwhile, as you say, the trading pretty heavy and gonna get the recalls off on bottom side, but no casualties and a couple of flashes though. Mid lane flash, both of them down. Isles, of course, as we saw on screen, had taken a lot of damage previously and early, so junglers have some options here, Flowers. Flash invested from Jose when Isles chased him down on the bottom side. He doesn't have flash to go with, but you can still try and look for some extra jungle pressure around the mid lane where both mid laners have invested their flashes pretty early on in this game. The early skirmish from the invade doing a lot in that area. And see if we get any roam timers for the support as well. Again, if you're bottom lane, if you can open up, get the extra pressure there, having a Rel or a Nautilus roaming up towards mid lane can be a huge determining factor. But Saint himself is taking his extra time. Doesn't see anything, an actual look to make the play on top side, so says, okay, fine, I'll head on back here. to Quid and go pick this up. This is actually a pincer movement. Look at Inspired's coming too.
Yeah, they want to see if they can find the angle here on the Cassiopeia. Quid stops Saint from immediately jumping in with the miasma, but now Inspired has arrived. Quid knows he's in a tough spot, tries to slither back to safety, but there's nowhere to go. It's first blood for Inspired.
Wow, what coordination there. I mean, yeah, he looks on the top side. There's not an opening for the top side play, but then they just talk with Inspired and say, hey, yeah, this guy's trying to push the wave. It's a non-cannon wave, so he knows Quid really wants to get that one in, so you can try and push quick, get your timing to go back, and they just call Inspired to wrap around the other side. Saint canceled his recall, came back to lane from the top side, and able to find the extra kill here. Again, with the no flashes on the mid laners, it was primed for an attack from jungle.
LCS jungler win rate here, all time with a minimum of 25 games played. It's Inspired at the very top by only a couple percentage points over Umpty and Blabber. Some old names in the odd one, and Svenskeren also showing up in that top 5. But just goes to show, whether it's the old era or the newer era, it's Inspired who's at the top of the mountain.
It really feels cool to see names like the odd one up there as well. As Svenskeren talking about the older school dominating junglers, but yeah, Inspired has really just risen to the top of the LCS. He has done so well being over here. Mid lane under attack again, but Jose just trying to come hover here because LeBlanc constantly going in. Very, very annoying to deal with. Again, without point and click on the side here at 4TL, this could get out of hand. And with the nice little pincer they had on mid lane to abuse the Cassiopeia when Cassio had no flash, does make that annoying. But here we go. Cassio gets the honey fruit to heal right back up and try and burn down this dragon.
Yeah, the Cassiopeia is so effective at being able to DPS neutral objectives, but Quid staying in the brush for now as Isles is going to step forward immediately. CoreJJ goes into the engage, and that's Inspired under a lot of pressure, but Team Liquid's going to be careful themselves. Saint makes his way into the fight, tries to go forward and finds the kill under Jose Diodo. LYON is just team fighting better. 6 minutes into the game, they collapse on TL, and TL collapse in front of them as that's 2 dead, going the way of LYON. They'll take the objective on top of it.
And LYON were one step ahead. They brought the extra man. They brought the Cassante here. Big Dokes walked his way to the dragon fight and can teleport back to the top lane. Look at the mini-map. He was walking over. So Inspired walks up. He's like, okay, you guys are going to flash engage on me, use everything. They use Cassiopeia ult and everything there too. So Inspired was still able to get out the backside. And then since they also got the enemy low there, Assassin LeBlanc slinks on in, and Saint is laughing his way to an extra kill here. It's going to be another good game for him on a very mobile Assassin.
And Spawn's reaction, well, I guess that happened. That's frustrating one, man.
I mean, they had their call, and they were focused on going for the flash engage onto enemy jungle, but Inspired still had clone, and Inspired didn't even have to flash out. Just able to turn around, get out of there, and it opened up a very big counterattack opportunity from the rest of LYON to punish, and they did better prep. They're the ones who had Dokla walking over from the very beginning, so they have the confidence to move forward too, in addition to having the early stages of the fight go their way too. Then they just teleport Dokla right up to the top side, and LYON off to a very good start here in the next game. But Team Liquid, they're not done yet. Doing some grubs here. And CoreJJ trying to keep watch.
Yeah, CoreJJ trying to keep Saint at bay as the grubs, they're only started, but not even a single one finished by Jose Diodo before LYON brings in enough firepower to force TL back. Now Inspired can step forward and start up those grubs himself. Looks like TL's just going to go ahead and give up on it. So Inspired should be able to pick up all 3 of the grubs as the team maintains its almost 2,000 gold lead. Berserker continuing to farm down here. 23 stacks on the Senna. Like you talked about earlier, Kobe, all it's about in the early game for this champion, stay calm, farm up, and get to the point where you are just unmanageable.
And I do want to highlight a little bit as well Dokla, because him getting the teleport advantage and being able to walk down there for the team was a had a sizable impact.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, game number 1 also was pretty much all about Saint, or a lot about Saint and Inspired, but. It's worth shouting out that Dokla was player of the series last time that Lion and Team Liquid played. He has done a lot for this team as far as playing weak side, absorbing ganks, doing things like getting the extra little teleport advantage for objective plays. Can also be very, very impactful. It's how these top laners can really have an impact. And since Morgan had used his to go back top lane, opened up a little bit of team play here. And now Flowers, we're sitting in a world. Well, where CoreJJ is in a brush, but
we're sitting in a brush.
I don't know. We're sitting in a brush, in a world in a brush. And he's going to desync their recalls, but we're sitting in a world where Lion are already 2,500 gold ahead with the Grubs, with the Dragon, all the objectives to their name. Dokla's proxying here, so you get the extra timer for yourselves, and see what they can do with it. They do have the 1 kill onto LeBlanc, who got a very big early Dark Seal with 4 stacks onto it, as we do get the Static Shiv, which is very nice for Senna. Obviously deals with your minion wave a lot easier there for your stacking, for your minion wave control at the very least.
Step number 1, right? Towards that power scaling fantasy for the Senna. Get the Static Shiv online, makes the soul collecting that much easier. But with what you're talking about, Dokla, I feel like the conversation around this guy is always, his decision-making later on in the game is so impactful. He finds ways, he finds angles, he finds opportunities to get involved and change things in a way that other top laners don't always see. The weakness that he has, the criticism that people has of him, is often that his laning is not up to the same level as some of his other opponents. But here in this game, he's 3 waves almost ahead of Morgan in terms of farm. He made that play that you're talking about to roam down to the Dragon. Dokla's having an awesome first 11 minutes.
Exactly. He's able to earn the extra pressure there, get the teleport advantage, turn it into something for the team too. Of course, the actual fight and the play there was the large portion of it. But man, are we in for another long one, Flowers? Because right now, Lion have it really under control, and Team Liquid gonna have to pull something out as far as the team fight. They're kind of in the opposite position this time around. It's gonna have to be them that come up with a huge combo. Did kind of highlight it in Champ Select. You're talking about you liked the
sludge bucket.
The sludge bucket, as you said, with the Jarvan and the Cassio. Trying to get Cataclysm and Miasma combination together. But CoreJJ on his rel is notorious for getting into some pockets of Fog of War, getting some vision control, and having a large impact. Unfortunately for them, all the members of Lion do have flashes. Okay, Isle's actually going in for the initiation here. Dodges out on the Shattering Strike as well.
Yeah, not the full engage that they're going to commit. Just trying to see if they can get any panic, any scares out of Team Liquid. But CoreJJ, calm enough, doesn't really get a whole lot back with the Shattering Strike, but didn't need to. It does, however, mean that Lion still has total control over this bottom side river. The LeBlanc is still so scary with the Luden's Echo already completed. That Dark Seal for the extra early kick that you were talking about. It just means that if you're trying to approach these guys and you don't have enough information, you're really running the risk of getting one tap somewhere. So Lion just earned themselves an essentially uncontested second Drake here. Go up 2-0 in that objective count.
I don't know, Flowers. Whenever it's quiet like this,
you don't like it.
Whenever it's calm like this, you really think Inspired teams, it's exactly how they want to play.
Yeah, they're in the pocket. They're exactly where they want to be.
Of course, they're also 3-0 up with 3 objectives to their name and a lot of gold, and Senna scaling away. But TL, you would have to think they're under attack again. CoreJJ does expend the heal to get out of there. But that's going to be the end of that.
You could see Isles wanting to get in there with the dredge line to Spider-Man close enough, maybe follow it up with some CC to try to slow Core down, but no, he was just simply too far away. Up here on the top side with the Kanik Rookern done for Dokla. He is even less afraid of this Gragas than he was before, and he didn't seem to be particularly interested earlier on in the game. Obviously, he has that 1 death so far, but again, that was just an execute while he was proxy farming early to not have to deal with that early laning against the Gragas.
I will say, the huge portion of the gold, well, Dokla's still doing work. A huge portion of the gold lead is on Saint. He's about 1,000 gold, which would, be about half of it there. And if the LeBlanc does make a mistake, then that champion, that champion, if you make mistakes on it, then you can throw away leads fairly quickly and become ineffective. But I wouldn't predict that to happen in this case necessarily, because as we've gone over, you don't have a lot of tools to easily punish that champion in particular on the TL side at the moment. So we will lie in wait, as Team Liquid will here, rotating, LYON and Core back over to the mid lane, keep him farming away. They're at his Trinity Force Spike at the very least, has his burst damage, but side lane's gonna get a little difficult for TL, and we still all have our outer towers up. And even with that being the case, they're gonna get a little difficult. Dokla, as you mentioned, he's got the Canic Rookern. That's great versus either AP solo laner. So shield very effective down there. Just hugely MR stacking with that and the Merc Treads. So he can go into the Cassio no problem on the bottom side of the map, while it does leave the top side where your Rift Herald is in the territory of the LeBlanc, just pushing in top side. Dokla's under attack, but you attack the Cassante next to a tower of flowers and
that's a Cassante moment waiting to happen. I see Cassante near a tower, even if he's kind of low HP. I'm not 100% feeling it.
What if they send 4 players? Because look at the mini-map. Team Liquid are going to send 4 players down to the bot side of the map, and Isles is here to protect Big Dokes.
I think you would need another player. You would need all 5 to deal with Cassante underneath the turret. Dokla stays just fine there. Isles guaranteeing it. As back over in mid lane, Berserker continues just farming up here on the Senna, up to 37 souls, working on that second item. And like you mentioned, it's not just the Canic Rookern for Dokla against the Gragas, but being able to itemize with a single item, with a single damage resistance type against both opponents you might have, it just feels so good for a side laner.
Yeah, stick in the side, either side, no problem for him. And Morgan trying to sustain up there versus either of them was having a rough time. Dokla using his shield time here, takes away the ward. Big Dokes doing a lot for the team this game. And it's going to the Lion game plan, Flowers.
Yup, slow and steady wins the race. The Lion takes a big nap in the savannah before he goes on the hunt for the horses.
He's also already got the food. He's been eating. He's like,
they only ate 3 horses.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't done things. They've gotten every objective. While they've gotten all the objectives, topside ones as well as the dragons on the bottom side, in addition to all these early kills that they got around the LeBlanc. And while Saint didn't get the last hits on all of them, he did participate in all of them.
100% KP.
And that has really been the pivot point. I mean, we got the comms listening. I really like that they did the comms listening from the draft. And they're like, all right, Saint, you're on fire. He's like, I'm feeling the LeBlanc.
All right. You've earned that right after your Akali performance, sir. Still a 2,500 gold lead here. 30 seconds until the next Drake spawns. Not the easiest fight for Team Liquid to try to take, but I feel like if they want to be able to take this fight, if they want to stop the Dragon Stack and the Soul Point for Lion, they need to be there first. They don't want to have to face check into the strong LeBlanc. They don't want to risk having somebody get picked off by the Nautilus. You've got to be there first and make them check into your big combo if you want to have a chance to overcome this gold deficit.
Yeah, and TL, they're thinking, all right, we just got to think about item completion points. We don't care about gold so much. At least the actual number. As long as it's meaningful in buying your item completion points here with your 2 item power spikes, which they have not been able to get anybody to. And then focus on their setup for the team fight. They've got the control ward in the brush. They're still going to look for it here.
All right, it is a 5v5 this time. Morgan is already here in the fight. Lion controls the river for now. Inspired's going to go ahead and take the Battle Herald forward into the lane.
He's going to get the value out of the turret hit.
Yep. Oh, hold on. Dokla's going in. He finds the pick of the hose of the Odo, but the Jarvan is already down. Inspired now into the back line, putting pressure into both the carries. It's Core JJ. It's burned down by the rest of Lion. It's the same damn song we sang in Game 1. Lion's team fight is just better.
And that one almost looked too easy for them because Inspired was off getting value out of the Rift Herald. He was like, okay, our Rift Herald initiation didn't see anything, so I'm going to take a quick little turn over the tower.
Yep.
And Dokla decides, you know what? That's too far, buddy. So guess what? You are dead. They just, as Inspired's even coming back from the mid lane, they still get that one, and then he gets a little flank. This game is looking too easy.
Yeah, this one's Soul Point, 5,000 gold lead. Enemy team doesn't have a single kill. It's 19 minutes into the game.
I mean, that was crazy. Dokla just looked at him. Up. He had the charged up Q and decided, I'm going to make a play. Enemy jungler's dead. Free dragon.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. That was just LYON going in and Team Liquid not being respectful enough. If Dokla's got that third in Tofo strike ready to go, you've got to pay attention. Jose was caught slipping, and Isles and Dokla punish.
They did a good job getting that control ward. You see, they took the vision first, but still, you knew he was in there.
Nice. Okay, focus up.
Focus up.
Yeah, he's saying focus up because maybe they're falling asleep with how this game is going.
All right.
I have to say, though, like we were talking about before, Dokla has had so many big individual moments for this team, especially through playoffs. He has had a lot of key engages. So him, as he said, stacking up his Zentofo strikes off the dragon, grabbing the vision control in the brush. He's doing all of the prep work. You know, people say you get lucky by preparing and then taking advantage of the opportunity. As we have a replay on bomb side too, where we're going for a little dive.
Hold on, up here on the top side. Morgan's in a little bit of danger. Isles having to flash away from the turret. Morgan down to 10% health as Isles does survive his protoplasm harness, guaranteeing that he doesn't get too very low up here, but it's LYON keeping the pressure on in the top lane underneath the tier 2.
But you remember back to earlier in playoffs too, you know, Dokla on his Poppy when he was looking at Quid versus Team Liquid. Quid was on the Annie in mid lane, and it was a pivotal moment. Game was very close, and Dokla walked up. He's like, I'm not going to give him a lot of time to think about this. Went for the flash play, got the initiation. Here, you know, just doing the prep work, being ready inside the bush, got the initiation, and it gets LYON to a very early Dragon Soul point. Gets them to a very early 6,000, almost now gold lead, and we're living in a world where the objective bounties are on the game, so the game itself trying to help Team Liquid.
They're going to need all the help they can get. 2.5 minutes on the clock until what will be the soul spawns for LYON. That is a Chemtech soul, generally, of course, not considered the strongest type, but especially when you have somebody like Cassante, someone who has all of this drain tank capability when he is in all-out form, it can be deceptively powerful. And any soul is a good soul when you're already this far ahead of your opponents. It just makes it completely impossible for Team Liquid to find an angle to get back into the game. Dokla arrives back underneath the tier 1 turret here to try to keep this structure safe. It's still Team Liquid without a single turret take so far in this game. Yes, there's 4 Team Liquid players up here, but Isles has already escaped with the dredge line, and I honestly think if you send these 4 after Dokla underneath the turret, he kills all 4 of them.
I would bet on Big Dokes too. Yeah, I would bet on Big Dokes too. He's got some team backup as well. They fire off the Senna ult anyway, and there's going to be nothing to check there anyway. You know, Baron is under control. They've got the vision over there now and fully retake control of that top side. Even while Team Liquid had invested 4 members, it seems kind of crazy how one-sided we've had these series this weekend, Flowers.
Yeah, I mean, game number 1, to be fair, was controlled by Team Liquid very heavily for a very long time. But then once the pendulum swung, it never swung back. And now I feel like that.
You think it's going to swing back this game?
The pendulum got trapped in the wall.
It's trapped on the LYON side.
And it's just spawned that way on the LYON side here in game number 2. They have controlled everything since that first dragon that they took away from Team Liquid with the kills they got, with the roam from Dokla. And now there are less than 60 seconds on the clock until the Dragon Soul spawns. The sirens are going off. The exclamation points are popping above your head. Team Liquid, you've got to be ready.
Problem for them is that the 3 items are already coming in for LYON here. Berserker has the Hex Optics here with the Senna, who is going to be a bit painful to deal with and is going to get mid priority very quickly with the static shift. So LYON are going to have bot lane priority and mid lane priority in preparation for a Dragon Soul, only 20 seconds away. Team Liquid are here, but can they pull out the team fight? It's going to be a difficult one. They're just hovering up here on the banana brush. See what they can do about it. LYON, they've got Inspired already in the pit. Oh, I'm telling you, man, if you don't have point click versus LeBlanc, it's so hard. They're trying to catch him, but
the distort is too good. Dokla going in now, finds the first in Tofo strike. We're going to charge those up here yet again. Remember, you've got the Seeker's arm guard available for Saint. Even if they try to burst him down, it is so incredibly tough. Inspired on the Wukong, has Flash and Cyclone both ready to go. Team Liquid still grouped up as 4 off to the side here. Morgan waiting up by the blue buff, wants to try to see if maybe he can get a big angle for a big cask. Just finds a little bit of burst onto Inspired and then has to immediately retreat. TL is going to go ahead and start up the Drake, but immediately LYON about to pounce right on in. The bounty is claimed. Jose Diodo gets the objective. Inspired has to try to get away. Team Liquid still firing, but nobody's been killed just yet. Jose wants to go in for the kill on Inspired, but instead he delivers himself. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Dokla finally falls. Isles might be killed off here next. TL, that's the best fight they've got all game so far, but no! LYON's not done yet, it's a double kill back over to Quid. Saint in the Seeker's arm guard gets finished off as Berserker's gonna be chased down. He fires back towards Quid, the shutdown on LeBlanc as Morgan gets beat over the head with a crushing blow. Just when it looked like TL might have finally found something, they find the business end of Berserker's rifle.
the Hex Optics extra range here too for Berserker. Chases them down. Inspired went to go heal off the Raptor pit after flashing away. Jose just full sent in the backline. Felt a little personal there, trying to kill Inspired at the end of the Dragon fight. Let's take another look at Team Liquid. They are showing signs of life at the very least. So they get the chunk onto Inspired at the very beginning. They try and burn down the Dragon, and they do, Flowers. They burn it down. Inspired tries to go back for the smite, but it's too late. They've already gotten it, and then they engage. Cassiopeia ult. They lock down Inspired. They almost burn him. The Deathfire touch is burning him. He gets the heal. Jose's like, I'm going to go finish him. But he just dies, gets annihilated there. Meanwhile, Dokla dies inside the pit. Morgan went for the flash play, but it is just not going to hit here. And Berserker gets pushed to safety on the other side. Used his flash to reorient. Then the re-engage actually did look good for TL, but notice on the bottom of your screen, Inspired was healing off the Raptors. He comes back to Berserker, and since Squid was so low and Berserker has procced the extra range here for Senna, Inspired's able to finish up with those extra kills, and they use the Senna to chase down the last. Ooh, they hit him back with the scuba. Spawn did it yesterday for reference for people.
This is deep sea warfare, my friend. The coach rooms are out of control with the scuba, and that's what happens when Senna gets to farm. 7,922 damage in the fight. Honestly, though, LYON also pumping damage on the Corki. 6188 coming out from him. The fight was a tale of 280 carries, but it's still LYON with a 6,500 gold lead. Team Liquid, though, can at least be happy that that isn't more than it was before. It actually shortened it by about 500, and they stopped the soul for now.
Exactly. That's the critical part. That little glimmer of hope that all of the Team Liquid fans are holding on to right now. They denied the Dragon Soul, at least for now. 2 minutes in the future, we're going to have another test, Flowers. Can Team Liquid do it again? Baron will be available while the Dragon Soul is threatening the other side of the map. And so it's going to be a hard approach for Team Liquid. But we've seen they denied the last one. Maybe they can do it again and claw their way back to parity.
Here's the tough part. Now you've got the full Zonias for Saint. Now you've got Guardian Angel for Inspired. Dokla is still very, very difficult to kill just in general. There's a lot of tools you have to fight through on the TL side to win one of these fights or even come close to it again.
Yep, that's pretty annoying to have to fight into. Yep. Those are some definitely very, very annoying fight-focused items. These individual use here for the Guardian Angel, it's such a big difference with Inspired having it fully completed and ready. We'll see. Team Liquid trying to look for the angle to get back into it still. Trying to bide their time, see if they can get an approach towards the Dragon. LYON here, though, they're going to get something out of Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan, he does kind of take a beating, but he gets himself away at least. Does it without the flash as well. Inspired committing the Cyclone to that one, trying to get the kill. Dokla decides not to go all out for it. Morgan manages to escape. Still 7,000 gold lead for the LYON side. Morgan happy to have walked away from that one, but it's 60 seconds until the Dragon spawns, so Team Liquid has to retake control, reestablish their position, and get ready to fight for the soul yet again.
Yeah, we'll look at these cooldowns too. makes it a little bit interesting. 40 seconds still here for the cooldowns on the ultimates that were invested to come back, though. Morgan definitely will have his. Honestly, Inspired and Berserkers are only a little bit longer than that.
So importantly, Saint just hit level 16 on the LeBlanc, so maximum threat here with that ultimate. He's level 16, Quid is still only level 15 with a 10-stack Rod of Ages.
Also, I do think we should continue to point out these items that are so good for like individual procs. The Verdant Barrier, even as a component item, it still at least gives you that spell shield, even with the long cooldown, is very useful for LeBlanc. We already talked about, there's no point and click, and you have to like use flashes. Well, never mind, it gets knocked off by a rocket.
I do like what he's doing though with the Verdant Barrier. Hold on, immediately they want to go in after Quid. They can't quite find him here, but Inspired is going to get collapsed on instead. He loses Guardian Angel as the fight hasn't even started in earnest yet. Inspired getting away for now, survives with 10% HP. Team Liquid, great look there. Scouting out the Inspired flank angle and punishing before he can move first.
Okay, Inspired in the fog of war. Oh, he cancels his recall. Inspired cancels his recall. He's going to wrap around. Saint for the top side.
He gets caught out by Morgan. He throws the explosive cask, and Saint has to continue trying to run away. Dopa and Inspired going in over the wall. CoreJJ going to be under pressure. Has to flash away, keeping himself alive for now. Dragon down to 2,000 HP. Electrifying gaze. Quid goes in. Inspired goes out. The Dragon's still at 3K. Dopa fighting Morgan, and Saint finally grabs the kill. LYON still looking to take the fight here as Saint dives into the back line. Objective bounty claimed it again by TL, but Quid's going to die. Now Hoseo jumps into the fight. He tries to get one back, but he can't quite do it. Has to get out of his own Cataclysm. CoreJJ next to die. Holy moly, man. Hoseo trying to escape all the way back into Tier 2 as LYON runs behind enemy lines. I don't think they're going to be able to save this plane.
Big Dokes knows where he is.
Dokla's letting him know, gives him one more thumbs up, gives him that big ol' Intofo smack, and that is 4 dead on the TL side. Yes, they get the Dragon, but they lose the fight, and LYON is going after the Baron. Jose's the only man left alive. He's coming to try to stop it, but Isles denies him.
Can he get the miracle? He's going to have to get through a lot to be able to make it happen, and he doesn't have flash or ulti to do it. There's no way they let him walk up and get in there.
Nope, they're just waiting on it. Dredge line into the firepower over the wall from Berserker. Isles just trying to keep Jose locked up.
Go back in!
Baron's going to be taken low! Jose Diodo, the hero of the day, jumps into the pit. He gets past the bodyguard, and he steals the Baron. Dokla punished in the side lane as well. Jose finally falls, but he'll be buried with honors.
It may be a tiny glimmer of hope, but it is still shining for Team Liquid in this game. They get the Dragon, they deny the soul, and then they steal the Baron Flowers. He is able to walk up and get in there. He steals it. Jose pulls it off.
A play from Jose Diodo. Despite the fact that LYON knew he was going to try to do it, they tried to stop him, they tried to pace the DPS, but Jose gets in.
Oh man, yeah, he did have to use his Guardian Angel cooldown as well, but man, Team Liquid, they are barely holding on, Flowers. They are holding on to the threads of this game, but they won't let go. TL's still fighting.
They have stopped the Dragon Soul twice. They have stolen the Baron.
We got Dragon, no GA. Are you gonna steal that shit? Maybe.
16레벨 찍고
2k HP.
신놈인데?
Oh! Nice job, Jose. Got it. Hey, we are in really good spot now.
You gonna steal that?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Good comms. You gonna steal it? Yeah. 2k HP. 2.6 right now, 2.4. He gets locked up by every CC already used, Nautilus already uses the auto, they already use the hook, they already use the Sentinel snare, he gets in there. Look at that timing too. Barely able, it was 15-30 something about there, so it gets the combo, split second damage. Holy.
Spawn got to be happy for the first time this game on that one.
Hey, if they pull this comeback off, the spirits will be high. That will fully regenerate all the motivation and the vibes on the team. If you're able to make a very difficult comeback in a game like that,
That's tough stuff, man. Jose Daejeon locking in when they need him as Morgan tries to go for his recall. Isle's going to stop him as Berserker's Dawning Shadow interrupted the recall to buy enough time for that. But Morgan can get himself away, at least for now. I don't think LYON wants to overcommit trying to kill the Gragas.
Yeah, thanks to the Baron buff that Jose stole. He's got the quick recall to get out of there, and they're pushing back for some money.
Okay, LYON maybe looking for an opportunity here for a fight. Teleport about to arrive from Morgan. That's an AP Gragas. He's not very tanky, but a nice petrifying gaze coming in from Quid. Isles is already down. LYON still scrambling a bit as Team Liquid team fighting is really shining now, Kobe.
Yeah, it was shining bright there with the Zonias from Morgan. He teleports in. They send on him with LYON going for the engage onto the Gragas on teleport arrival, but Morgan had the arm guard. He pops it, he buys the time, and Quid uses the LYON engage against them with his Cassiopeia ult. They burn down the counter kill. Team Liquid, step by step, they're working their way back into it.
That was slither by slither. That was Quid having the timing, stopping that engage. Beautiful stuff there. Seraph's 10-stack Rod of Ages, Void Staff completed. He's got his empowered boots, of course. He's doing plenty of damage to anybody that steps in range. And now it's 15 seconds. It's time to hold the Dragon Soul yet again.
Here we go. Round 3 of Dragon Soul fights. Team Liquid, again, they've got control of the banana brush here with the control ward. Jose lying in wait, but LYON can just force them out. They brute force, they walk their way in. A little bit of a flank there. Morgan decides against it. Gragas coming back to the team now.
Yep, Morgan does not have his flash. Flash is available on everybody else on the TL side. Keep your eyes on Core JJ on that rel. But Berserker's range is such a massive threat. The Dragon down to 3,000 HP. Dokka going in. He drags the enemy jungler away from the flanks, but it's still going to be slain. Jose Daejeon is working miracles with the smite in this game. Core JJ ducks in with a Magnet Storm, but he doesn't have the damage. Now Inspired knocked into Resurrection yet again. Core JJ surviving with the Proto Blossom Harness, but he can't quite do it. Saints trapped in the Cataclysm as Quake goes over the wall. Inspired looking for chase, but no. Gunned down by LYON. Team Liquid still fighting. Saints alive for now. Berserker still firing. It's a 3-for-1 trade. It's the third time we've seen this. The Dragon claimed by TL. The fight goes to LYON.
They're not done yet. I mean, they're trying to chase him down, Berserker.
Team Liquid, their AD carry falls first. Jose Daejeon's got to keep running. LYON looking for even more. Long death timers now.
Yeah, they're going to make him pay for that one, Flowers. Jose, the miracle worker, got back into the pit after Cassante ulted him away. Does deny the Dragon Soul, but LYON are going to make him pay for it with an inhibitor here. They are pushing hard.
Yeah, this is very scary for TL. It's still 10 seconds before Quid's back alive. LYON are pushing towards the Nexus. Jose and Core are the only two around to try to defend it. Jose's already knocked into Guardian Angel. Core JJ staying alive for now. Jose cannot escape this one. First Nexus turret also gonna die. Quid makes his way back onto the rift, and he forces LYON back. But it doesn't look like they're all the way back. Berserker, so strong on the Senna. Level 18 now with all that range. Morgan finally rejoins the mix, but the AP Gragas has just bursted down. Berserker goes godlike, and Team Liquid's Nexus is exposed. Core JJ trying to defend still. LYON finally respawns, but it's too late. LYON take game 2. They move to match point.
Oh my goodness. Still do make him work for it at the end, but LYON in the end, they still get the Nexus. And if you end up losing the game anyways, then people will just look back at it. If it ends up being a 3-0, they're not going to remember, oh yeah, you stole some dragons. Oh yeah, you got us a little, excited at the end there. So going to actually have to put that win on the scoreboard. So far, LYON don't have to change their target bans because they keep on winning. So assume they're going to keep them the same. Well, they do a little adjustment here. They haven't quite yet banned the Rakan.
So here's the interesting thing. Team Liquid last time, they chose first pick. This time around, they're going for the last pick instead. It's the Vi banned out by TL. LYON's going to continue banning away the Lee Sin, but that Rakan that's been banned alongside it so far is missing. It's Nefiri prioritized second instead. Now, LYON, of course, still have that third ban, but they also have the opportunity. Maybe you just steal Rakan away.
We will see. Also, what is their planned counter pick? Maybe it's going to go into the hands of Morgan. Maybe it actually is a different role counter pick. We'll have to see.
Yep.
In the end, it's not going to go to Quid's Yone. Lions say we are not losing to a Quid Yone. A lot of teams have, but not us.
Yesterday, we certainly saw what happens when Quid Yone gets out of control, completely dominated that game against Cloud9. And none of that's going to matter unless you can step up here. Team Liquid, how do they want to go about this? Okay, so the Rise is banned out, the Jace is banned out. However, Rakan is up, Bard is up. Both of these champions can be such huge playmakers. I'm curious, what is LYON going to prioritize here?
Yeah, the Caitlyn Bard lane is very powerful for bottom side. A lot of pushing opportunities. Look at some Bard stuff later. It's fun to play with the emotions of League of Legends players, huh? With some hovers.
Yeah, Dokla really enjoys this, but that is also a ban that was missing in this third draft compared to the previous two. Team Liquid had banned out Nocturne both times to keep it away from Inspired. This time it falls through those bans, and that is LYON's first ban.
Yeah, Inspired loves what Nocturne can do for team fights here, turning out the information for the enemy team. Also, obviously, attacking solo laners and side laners specifically. But TL, okay, looks like we are going to go right to the old comfortable here. The Xayah Rakan, LYON and CoreJJ. Rakan goes through the bans, and they immediately snap it up for him. He has a world championship skin on Rakan. He is extremely good at it still to this day. He has not lost a step. Still lightning quick engages from him. And it's not just his Rakan. LYON also has been our best Xayah player so far this year in the LCS.
And Xayah is great against Nocturne too. Nocturne wants to dive in, create that massive backline threat, pop the carry, and Xayah can just pop that Featherstorm in retaliation to keep herself alive. LYON now going to go ahead and draft the Yunara Lulu, the hyper carry combo here for Berserker and Isles.
The thing is, it's always kind of is still fun for the Nocturne too, because if you get your Fear Tether on the Xayah, even though she jumps up, and it'll proc when she gets right back down. So you can still stick on her. We'll see though. Yunara Lulu has definitely not had a tremendous amount of success. We'll see though. The Victor definitely has in the hands of Quid. So see if they can pull it off again.
Reliable wave clear there in the mid lane. Locks right.
Is that Locks dance? I haven't seen that.
I think that's what his dance is. This guy's got all the moves learned. As we head into the second half of the bans, Sylas is the first one banned away by Team Liquid.
Okay, I mean, that is a Saint special for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Saint and Inspired, Nocturne, and Sylas combination has been devastating. LYON does not want to get hit with that again.
Nope.
Because it was literally, he was playing Xayah last time he got hit with that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Saint and Inspired won the entire game. So that right there is a trauma ban. That's what we're going to call that ban, Flowers. That is a trauma ban.
Normally you see those people ban what they just lost to in solo queue, but that is one of the bans. You know, this isn't quite solo queue. This is a little further back than your last game on ladder, but Ornn's going to be banned out now by LYON as well. They don't want to deal with Morgan on that big tank, that massive engage there in the top lane.
Certainly not, and they won't have to this time around. What can it open up a little bit more, Rumble priority here if there's no Ornn answer? It's a very common answer into it, and Rumble plus, dive stuff like Nocturne, get there towards the back stages. I don't know. Let's see what they're working with here as they move up. Another Saint champion, the Ahri, also going to hit the bans.
That's a crazy Bard poster, bro.
I wasn't going to touch on that, but yeah, you can't help but notice, huh?
No, it just kind of jumps out at you. And Bessa going to be our final ban alongside the Ahri here in this second half of the draft. As Team Liquid, we still need to see what is the top laner, what is the jungler. You know you're going for last pick, that's what you chose. So I expect the jungle to be the pick here. Save the top laner for the counter pick.
Is Griffin in the house?
Is it?
They're not.
No,
it's still another Griffin
it's
champion.
The dragon.
Get a camera on Griffin right now.
Where's he at?
Oh yeah, did he party too hard last night? Maybe we don't want a camera on him. But there's the Rumble I was talking about. Let's see if they end up going through with it. They don't have a tremendous amount of CC to actually keep people on a Rumble Ultimate.
No.
But that has not stopped them before. And Big Dokes has been a very successful Rumble player. Utilizes it quite well, especially even in weak side. He's usually very good about his timings, using ult to clear waves. Doing quite well, even without attention. The Shyvana, though. Back to the Shyvana. This another one of these Griffin champions. These things are very farm heavy, and you cannot become inefficient. You can't pay too much attention to your lanes when you're playing Shyvana. You have to keep your farm up. You have to keep stacking, and you need to keep your power level very high relative to the rest of the laners in the game, relative to the enemy jungle as well, because you are really a stat champion, and it does benefit a lot when you have primary engage like Rakan, because Shyvana can do a lot of follow-up. Rakan is a little bit quicker, gets the setup for the CC. Shyvana ult can come on through.
Okay, so we got the Galio locked in for LYON. That prevents their opponents from taking that as a counter pick into the Rumble. Also gives you more reinforcements to protect your Yunara, which this entire comp seems to be very good at doing. But over on the other side, the last pick, the choice in draft for Team Liquid is to put Morgan on the Yorick and have that split push threat. This is one of the most heavily skewed towards split pushing champions in the entire game.
Yeah, and also a good answer into the Rumble individually. When you have a Shyvana in the jungle, you want all your laners to be capable of themselves, because as we said, you don't want to pay too much attention to your laners. Got to keep your farm up, and you also want to, if you can, obviously try and grab an extra camp here or there if the opportunity arises for a good invade angle. But we will see here, because Nocturne plus Galio, I mean, that's a good dive combination right there. You get the Galio coming down on top, and that is some CC to hold people in place for a Rumble ult. So very long range dive possible here from LYON. They can attack that Victor, and the Victor might have some trouble in the side lanes, but we'll see if the Nocturne Galio can put that pressure on the low mobility carry, because if you cannot, we have seen the damage output that Victor can do.
We'll also see if we get more than 3 games here today. So far, it has been LYON triumphant in both. Whether they started ahead, whether they started behind, they found their way to the Team Liquid Nexus. Team Liquid looked so strong yesterday, sweeping Cloud9 in that preliminary match here before the finals to earn their place against LYON. And now they've got to find success against this hypercarry Yunara, piloted by Berserker. Find success with this Yorick in the side lane and be able to play the map well to enable him to succeed. And I like seeing that, particularly again from Team Liquid, because I think that historically this is one of the best LCS teams in terms of map movement.
And it's not in question at all if Inspired is one of the best junglers we have had in North America. We've been showing stats both in-game and on the analyst desk all day long about how successful Inspired has been, and Inspired doing that invade, as you saw, on the red buff. So he was able to go in through the top side of the map, and then I believe circumvent this defensive Raptor ward.
Yeah.
As that thing is, okay, so that thing sees about to the edge. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, observers. And so he has been able to circumvent that vision as well. Now he walks over it, so Shyvana will get the information. Jose knows. Mid lane has to flash too. They're getting the pressure on the Victor even earlier than expected, Flowers, forcing the flash. And Inspired had just showed there, so flash for flash trade in mid lane, but really Shyvana knows, all right, well, I've been counter jungled. How are we gonna deal with this? Because Inspired usually will cross back to try and defend. They have a red ward here for Team Liquid that sees Inspired clearing his own Raptors, and Inspired then does a little bit of a wiggle outside of the vision because he knew exactly the placement. So he wiggled down towards his red a little bit before crossing back, and now he's actually doing Wolves instead. So Jose, at the very least, will be able to compensate with the blue.
Yep, hopefully Jose can get away with this for Team Liquid's sake here in this series, as Morgan is now going to rotate down into this enemy jungle. Inspired secures his Wolves, though, just moves on to his Gromp. Jose is going to be able to move out in time without any threat. You mentioned it was flash for flash back in the mid lane, and I think LYON is more than happy with that, considering Victor is so vulnerable without that defensive summoner spell. CoreJJ taking a couple hits here, as he did have to man this battle station all on his own for a moment, as LYON recalled himself. But now that we don't really have any action after our initial invade, let's go ahead and listen in to LYON hyping each other up now that they're at match point.
Nice job this game, guys. Let's keep doing what we are doing.
Win in peace, lose in peace, just play in peace. If we win, it's players gap. If we lose, it's coach gap. You know how it goes.
I love that from Dokla. A very monk mentality as Quid takes a ton of damage there from the Justice Punch. There's no way out. It's first blood for Inspired. And the tower can't get one back. LYON are off to the races 3.5 minutes in.
Oh, man, and Saint sets it up so well on the Galio. Inspired's like, oh, great, I will follow up on this play. Uses the flash, knows there's no escape for the victor. They get it as well. Nice spell shield on the way out from him as well, and right back to it. LYON, they're going to win in peace, they're going to lose in peace. Looks more like they're going to win in peace, but here we go. Saint canceled his recall and is like, well, Quid is walking up. He did this because Quid, as he was clearing the minion wave, had been walking and positioning like he was going to come check it. So Saint says, that is illegal. Indeed, it is, and they both are able to get out of the tower range too. Really nice, just heads up moment there from Saint, recognizing the positioning, the movement from the victor here. He knows he has no flash. He says, hey, Inspired, we're gonna punish this. Don't worry, I got you. And they do. First blood into the Nocturne Flowers. That is very scary because that affects all laners on the map.
Yep.
It further funds money for an early Hex plate for him, which will reduce the ult cooldown too even earlier in the game, and definitely can't snowball.
Yeah, you saw as soon as LYON used the Blade Caller, Berserker and Isles knew they could continue chasing, trying to get a very advantageous trade. Second Blade Caller there. That's why you wait till that thing's gone and then chase. Unfortunately for them, LYON got it back in time, so does find a mostly even trade there at the end of things as Isles just continues trying to harass these guys, keep them down, create problems here in the bottom lane. Man, oh man, Team Liquid. Okay, it's only one kill so far. It's not like the game is completely running away from you. But we also started off with the non-ideal situation in the jungle, right? The counter jungling that you're talking about. Shyvana has got to stay on pace or ahead of pace if she wants to be relevant in the game. Hosdiodo still just trying to do that, but it's Inspired invading, threatening him at the Krugs. Attaches the Fear Tether. He's too close to the turret to really do anything else, but he does force him back out of the jungle.
Yeah, luckily for Jose, he's been able to clear his entire jungle and scrap together the rest of it just in time. So does remain at parity for now. Still with the first blood that gives a lot of extra gold to Inspired, so that's less than ideal for them. But at least as far as the farm goes, is doing okay in the aftermath of the invade. We'll see it though once the level 6s do come in. That can be a big moment for Nocturne. Inspired's going to come for this river priority as well. See what Jose can do, because CoreJJ is going to back him up. Look at as well. Here comes the Xayah. LYON going to come for the Scuttle Crab first.
Inspired wants to step forward. Heroic entrance slams down from Saint, but everybody on Team Liquid gets out in time. Nice Blade Caller there on the enemy mid laner from LYON. However, Saint is unafraid. Continues to go forward, but the gravity field does stun him up. Team Liquid continuing to disperse. And once more, Kobe, it looks a lot like it looked in game number 2. It's LYON bringing the extra man. It's Dokla roaming down to the fight. He's the one who makes the difference, forcing TL back. Fortunately for Team Liquid, they lose no one.
Our team fight comps is so good.
Yeah, we just need to survive early.
Well, they did survive. That's the important part. Again, even though they don't get the dragon, even though that looks similar to game number 2, the big difference is you don't lose multiple players there.
Yeah, and key again. Dokla had earned the extra teleport advantage, as you stated. He comes down to the play. Morgan had to use his teleport to go back to lane, and so they get the advantage there. But TL, it's okay. They're focused in. We scale. They scale. LYON also, though, pretty happy probably to get that first blood and that dragon.
Ooh, and that recall interrupt just being as obnoxious as possible, trying to ruin your opponent's pacing there as Berserker and Isles continue just pushing LYON and Core JJ away with the power of this Yunara Lulu. There is a pretty significant CS gap in the bottom lane, Kobe, as Berserker continues firing forward. He is transcended, and LYON has ended. Berserker in the 2v2 stands tall.
So, earlier we showed some stats for Inspired's all-time win rate. I want to show you some stats from Berserker's all-time win rate from bot laners. And look at the names that are up there with him as well. Some throwbacks here. Sneaky up there, Danny up there, Hansama even in his Team Liquid time. But Berserker also, again, Berserker was very successful on Cloud9, so that also helps a lot with that all-time win rate. But again, you were just talking about the Yunara. Now the Yunara gets the kill on top of the CS lead. And all of a sudden, if you're repeating, don't worry guys, we scale, it has a little bit different of a tone.
Yeah,
after Berserker gets that kill.
Hyper carry is so scary, man. LYON and Core already down about 3 waves worth of minions. And as soon as Berserker sees the opportunity, as soon as he ticks over to level 6 and unlocks that ultimate, he just immediately dashes forward. The Arc of Ruin with the slow, kaboom.
Yeah, it was really nice. Glitterland set it up, and they got the level 6 power spike.
Hold on, though. Now it's Morgan in danger. Wild Growth from Isles working together with Inspired. They cut down the Yorick. They kill off the Maiden. And the entire time, what's Berserker doing? Playing Minecraft with the Tier 1 turret. Just mining gold day in, day out. 2,000 gold lead for LYON 9 minutes into the game.
Don't worry, Flowers, we scale. Do you believe me?
No.
Okay, we'll see. Berserker's over 1,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
LYON here out to a very nice, healthy lead there. Going for a play for Core. He really wanted to stop these recalls. He does succeed in doing so.
But at the cost of the quickness. That's a lot of power that'll be missing until that ulti comes off of cooldown. At least for them, there's not really anything that you're going to be forced to immediately fight for in that duration.
Also, you know, as you answer this poll in chat, look at these wards, super deep wards all over the top side. So while their recalls were stopped, they're going to see any approach. Yeah, thank you, observers. So they're going to see any approach. The thing about Shyvana is they're going to see Shyvana finish Raptors and move over here, and their ward does expire. They're going to be, it's a little bit easier to track her, but Shyvana crossing now, so Jose is walking through river, and the pings go down though. They did see, as that ward expired by Raptors, they saw him finish up there.
And we do have our MasterCard Power Spike completed here with the Experimental Hex Plate on Inspired. Very powerful item with Nocturne. Inspired already has 2 out of the 3 kills on his team. Very accelerated on this champion. Jose Diodo has not been able to do a whole lot on the Shyvana, but again, that's not really what you expect. You expect him to farm, you expect him to stay ahead. Problem is he's 900 gold behind.
Yeah. Somehow, too, I feel like Griffin always just finds some kills randomly.
Yeah, just walk up, grab a kill.
When Griffin's doing it. We'll see if it has the same effect this time, but yep, they got to keep on focusing on keeping their income stable here. LYON moved up. Try and get some extra pressure on the tower, but Big Dog's under a little bit of danger.
Yeah, he does manage to get himself out of the Dark Procession. It is nice when you have the extra attack speed from being overheated, because remember that Yorick's Cage only has instance-based health, like a ward, versus having actual HP like a unit. So as long as you can just hit it a couple of times, you'll knock the thing down and get yourself away before he can really rack up the damage with the ghouls. We have a lot of pressure here around the top side from LYON. There are 25 seconds left on the clock until that next Drake spawns. So we are going to see Isles and Inspired start moving over towards the mid lane. Quid does have his flashback on the Victor to evade any sort of threat that might head his way. And let's see the results of our poll here. Will Jose Diodo... Ooh! Chat does not have faith in Jose in the kitchen on this one. We'll see if they are vindicated or proven wrong. Berserker makes his way back down to the bottom lane, just continues farming up on this Yunara, has his Kraken Slayer well on his way to being that hyper carry they went for. First items coming online in multiple different roles here. Hallowed Radiance completed for Saint, gives him all that extra wave clear with the nice explodey effect. Over on the other side, Blackfire Torch for Quid, stacking towards some of those dots. Unfortunately, LYON still a little ways away from getting his first one done, but at least that cull is down to 21 stacks, so should be able to cash in on that soon and alleviate some of this gold deficit.
Yeah, game still definitely playable for Team Liquid. Still focused. Still trying to pull back this series, even though LYON making a very good showing here in Tempe. See what they can do as far as the setup. Should be bot lane push, mid lane push as well for them, so pretty easy for LYON. And you're going to see the recall here from Jose anyway, so he's just going to go straight back to base. They're going to sacrifice this one, and LYON, they're going to get another objective, Flowers.
Yep, they are going straight for the Drake. You've got Berserker there with that Kraken Slayer I mentioned, inspired with the Hex Plate. It's just, it's a scary thing to check into. Team Liquid, it's only the second Drake of the game. They're not going to bother trying to fight for that one. Too much risk, too little reward. But that does mean that, yet again, it's LYON controlling neutral objectives. All 3 grubs, both Drakes so far. Now 2 minutes until the Rift Herald spawns, and Dokla is shoving the wave in on Morgan. Jose Diodo still farming up. So when do we see Shyvana show up?
So one of the problems is, I mean, yeah, first you do need your Training Force, so he's got Training Force. And Spear of Sojin is super nice too. But one of the problems, when Shyvana does want to show up, the enemy team has a Lulu. And Lulu makes fighting as Shyvana very, very problematic, very difficult, as does a Galio. Kind of hard, so we'll see. I'm kind of leaning towards chat's answer, but we're going to have a pivotal moment fairly soon here, as everybody is going to try, as you say, and play off of some of their first item power spikes. They're moving in. Team Liquid want to make the position here for the Dragon. They're getting there very early. Resets are coming in for LYON, though.
Yeah, that Dragon's still a ways away. 4 minutes until the next one spawns, but the Rift Herald here in 55 seconds. That topside river is completely dark, though. Nobody really investing early towards that objective, as Isles does just want to continue playing supportal combat against Core JJ. Slow him down with the Glitter Lance a little bit. See if you can scare him back. They know that they have battling control wards here in this Tri-Brush. They'd love to be able to clear out the Team Liquid vision. There's your Arc of Judgment over the wall, shows that Berserker is here too, and that means that Team Liquid can't really afford to keep playing this game of chicken over the warded brush.
The ward battles, Flowers. Everyone's really feeling those ones. We're getting back into it.
Those cost 75 gold each.
Those are expensive.
You got to defend
those. They are. And the classic chance coming up. We'll see, though. Okay, Big Dokes is on the move. Dokla here on his Leandri's power spike, getting deep in the jungle, getting enemy vision through enemy jungle here. Ooh, they're thinking about a possible play. He did cancel his recall there initially.
All right, Jose, level 10. 2/3 of the way to level 11, to the bigger, badder Dragon form. But Inspired still has that gold lead here on the Nocturne. The only individual gold lead on the Team Liquid side right now is Morgan on the Yorick in the side lane with his own Trinity Force completed. Going to try to allow Dokla to step up a little bit here. Jose Diodo standing on a control ward, so he knows he's not seen. Morgan goes forward, finds a little bit of damage onto Big Dokes, but here comes the Nocturne. Inspired wants to go after the Yorick, and Morgan is not long for this world. LYON sent everybody. They already killed Morgan. Core JJ is going to be next to fall. He flashes, trying to stay alive. The Arc of Ruin barely misses him. As Team Liquid, you could see Jose was thinking about trying to make a move onto Dokla, but it's LYON who strike first. They grab the kill on the enemy top laner, and they earn themselves control over the Herald Pit.
Yeah, you could tell, Team Liquid, they were feeling the play coming. They even invested the teleport from Quid to try and get up there, but LYON just with the full commit, using the globals, are able to make it happen. And even in the aftermath here, they're going to be able to get the Rift Herald as well. Dokla uses his teleport to get right back up there. So LYON, they grab the kills, and they're going to keep the objectives coming as well.
Yeah, Jose level 11 on the Shyvana.
Or are they?
But he's losing a lot of HP here.
All right, so they do get chased out.
Okay, nicely defended there from TL. They don't want to start it up themselves here just yet. As you can see, that gold lead that I was talking about for Morgan, well, it's down to only a couple of minions now. Here's another look at how the play happened.
So again, this is going to be first teleport from Galio, then they're going to get the reaction teleport from Quid at the tower, as you can see. But early flash from Nocturne, Inspired was like, yeah, I'm going to get ahead of this one so you can't get away from my fear, and they've already deleted them. Then on everybody else trying to approach, they just get cut off. Berserker there doing too much damage on the Yunar with Lulu right behind him.
This is a tale of two series for Team Liquid Girl in the audience. She was having the time of her life yesterday. I remember that fan cam react.
Yeah.
Today, it is a much scarier prospect here for Team Liquid. They are still down 2,000 gold in this one. The Rift Herald at least still on the map, but it's continued pressure from LYON here in the mid lane. Fiend Hunter bolts completed for Berserker. This is when Yunara can start to one-shot people. However, he has to try to get away now. Wild Growth and Mikhails both had to be committed as LYON stepped forward, caught him with the Blade Caller, forced that CC relief from the item, from the Lulu, to make sure that the Yunara doesn't drop right there. That could have been a big pick for TL.
Yeah, good peel there for Isles, or from Isles, to be able to get Berserker out of a tough spot without Berserker having to use actual summoner spells himself. And here they go again.
Oh boy, this time it's going to be Quid. He flashes away to keep himself alive. He throws down the gravity field in a spot that if Inspired kept chasing, he would have been caught underneath the turret. Herald's going to be slain now by the Team Liquid side. They got to try to pick up the eye. It looks like CoreJJ was able to grab it. Here comes the TP. LYON trying to escape now as Berserker very early flashes over the wall. Does not want to risk being caught. Nice move there from Team Liquid. They get Quid away after LYON try to make the move, and then TL earn themselves the Herald.
So they use their teleport, though, too, to go for the pincer play. So Morgan teleported over there, so Saint does get a turret plate on the bottom side and answer. But yes, Team Liquid, they did get their objective, and Morgan's going to get first tower bonus for TL to chop the gold lead down a little bit. Jose now is caught.
Yep, Jose Daejeon not where he wants to be. Defensive Dragon trying to fly away. Saint continues the chase here as LYON and Berserker fire back and forth. Berserker winning out on these four now. Jose Daejeon again going to be in trouble with the Justice Punch coming in, but the taunt won't connect. Here comes Quid on the side. Saint with the flashback over the wall, staying alive for now. LYON taken low. Berserker takes him out. Berserker is the better AD carry so far today.
Man, and Isles right there doing some work with the Lulu, too. These guys, they're winning their own little fight on the other side, Flowers. They kept a fair fight. 2v2 out on the left side. Well, it looked like Inspired couldn't decide whether or not he wanted to fight with Saints.
Ooh, here comes your Arcane Storm. Quid wanted to try to punish Isles, but instead, Quid's the one who now might be in some danger. CoreJJ looking to play defensively, protect his mid laner, but he only dies beside him. It's a 7-0 lead for LYON and Kobe. They're about to get another turret. They're about to go to Soul Point, not even 20 minutes into the game.
This has been a crazy weekend, Flowers. Yesterday, Team Liquid doing the stomping, and now they are getting stomped.
One day, you are the boot. The next, the butt. That is the way of League of Legends. And here's another look at how that last fight happened.
Okay, so they know we can full send on this Victor. Rumble ultimate doing a lot. Fear procs into the Gallia ultimate that just on the edge of the range gets him. And they're just, again, we knew from draft they're going to try and keep on going for this Victor, punish him every time he doesn't have flash. And they do. Nice turn there from LYON. In the previous little play, too, when they were fighting over the back of that jungle wall, creating a lot of space to set up for the Dragon, they are able to get a lot of cooldown advantages and then turn it into objective plus more kills. So LYON, once again, set up very well in this series. And with the gold continuing to flow towards their side, the objectives as well, only 4 minutes away from a very early Dragon Soul, Hextech Soul at that.
This is so scary. I'm struggling to see the comeback condition for Team Liquid without a LYON blunder. Of course, obviously if LYON do something very silly, Team Liquid's able to punish that, sure. But Berserker is 2.5 items already on this hyper carry Yunara. Saint having a great time. He's got his 2 items completed with the Imperial Mandate, now also fully done, has the Swift March, Stridebreaker done on Inspired, Bloodletter's Curse for Dokla, just to melt that magic resistance off of everybody. And you already mentioned it, but Isles has been doing a great job on that Lulu, making sure that Berserker can play aggressively, supporting Inspired when he dives in and tries to find additional kills and additional plays. Team Liquid going to drop the Herald here in the mid lane. This is the one objective that they have earned themselves so far in this game. How well will they be able to use it, though? What in the hell?
All good, all good.
Okay.
All good.
That is, I was not expecting that. I'm not sure what was going to happen. I didn't expect that. The
It
Herald
felt like you did expect it because you asked the question. LYON now getting burned.
Yep, that equalizer, though, trying to get TL forced all the way back. I was expecting something creative, some sort of like drive around the back side of the terrain, but no, that's not going to happen. CoreJJ now might be in a little bit of danger. He gets slowed down. Inspired on the flank, but the rest of LYON just shoving up the mid lane.
Yeah, they can't get back to mid here for TL. Liner keeping him out. Berserker's going to hit the tower.
Yep, he's just farming plates. TL still trying to approach as Inspired finally flies in. He's looking to go after the enemy mid laner. They've already killed off Quid. LYON tries to escape, staying alive for now. Inspired still has the wild growth. Team Liquid still trying to get away.
Not the Maiden too.
Die. Arc of Ruin slows down LYON. Blink your eyes, the Maiden's gone. LYON just taking anything they want from this jungle as the blue buff is their next victim. 4,500 gold lead, 22 minutes in.
Well. Looks like LYON have all of the choices available to them. Team Liquid going to have to start getting a little bit more desperate here. Only 2 minutes for the Dragon Soul. And they're going to need to clear out a pocket of vision, get a surprise play, maybe a dream, a miracle Core JJ engage or something. Maybe some sort of Jose steal to get an objective bounty, Flowers?
Well, he certainly had the smite key dialed in the last game. He'll have to do it again in this one. Jose Diodo still at 0-0-0 in this game. I mean, honestly, considering the team has no kills or assists at all, that's a very good score because it means you haven't died at all. That is the tragedy of this is that objectively 0-0-0 is the best score on the team right now for TL. That is the state of the game.
Low action score, though.
Yeah. Low action score, 0-8 overall. 5,000 gold lead for LYON. Dragon Soul spawning here in 60 seconds. TL has to find a way to steal this away. It has to be a crazy steal from Jose Diodo because I fail to see how you would actually be able to win a team fight and stop them from getting not just a soul, but a Hex Soul.
Yeah, definitely would be super powerful, obviously, for them. All right, I have been liking, by the way, the new mandate when people have been building on Galio, because does effectively work on 3 of your abilities, including your ultimate. And the damage amp, quite nice for your team as well. And when he keeps on landing stuff onto the Victor, it's what we were talking about from Champ Select, where constantly putting pressure on him. This time around, Quid has Flash. So the dream for Team Liquid is alive. Can they do it again? In the previous game, they stopped multiple Dragon Souls that were in LYON's grasp. However, this time around, down 5,000 gold, gonna have to do it again. Quid here with Flash on the outside. Can he do it?
All right, here comes the TP. Immediately, everybody from LYON has arrived. Team Liquid gonna start up the Dragon. DPSing pretty slowly overall. Saint is standing on top of a ward off on the flank. The Equalizer already arrives. LYON's got to be careful. Quid doing the same. They turn out the lights. Jose goes in. Jose steals it again. Inspired has to try to get away now. Team Liquid have already stopped the soul, but do they want to go for a little bit more? Doko's going to be taken down to 1/3 HP as Core JJ can't find the engage. Berserker with a wild growth. Massive taunt coming out of Saint. He locks up multiple targets, and the dream dies right in front of TL. They may have stopped the soul, but LYON shoot him straight through the heart.
Oh, you said it, Flowers. They're going to get the kills, and guess what? That means Baron as well for LYON. Even though they don't get the soul, Jose comes up with another smite steal. He does it again. Let's take a look. For the Team Liquid fans, they can at least hold on to this. The smites have been true. Combo nicely gets that one, 1380 something we saw at the end, and then they tried to push forward. But now Jose, he can't get in though. There's no way he can get actually inside the pit. Doesn't have his ult.
There's no flash, no dragon form. Dokla's just going to try to burn him down as the heroic entrance arrives. That's a rampage for Dokla. That's a Baron for LYON. That's a death for Jose Diodo. And now LYON have a 7,500 gold lead. They've got Baron for the next 3 minutes, and they got a 5v4 for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely looking good for LYON's chances here. They were the lock-in winners this year for LCS, and they have locked in for finals in spring as well. They're looking to become the 6th, wait a second, as Saint is going to have to run away, doesn't think he's in any danger, the 6th North American organization to win back-to-back titles if they can complete it here. So far this year has gone well for them.
And even though both these teams are going to MSI, you've got to remember, there is a big difference between going to MSI as the 1st seed and the 2nd seed. For anybody who missed it, T1 just qualified to MSI as the LCK 2nd seed. That's in the play-ins. You know how many teams get out of play-ins? 1. So that means whoever loses this series, if you want to play in main stage, I don't even think you're going to get there. Hold on, Quid's taken down to 10% HP. Hosvioto firing back. Berserker is low. Equalizer down over the top, and Dokla hits him with the airstrike. Hosvioto's going to get burned down next as CoreJJ tries to run. Dokla still in hot pursuit. The long-range power of the equalizer finishing off the kill onto Quid. Jose dies with him. Kobe, 15-0?
Yeah, you can hold on to the smite count, though. Smite steals. How about that?
1. It's like 15 without the 5. I don't know if that's as good.
I mean, we can say it again here for LYON, though. They had first-team All-Pro mid laner Saint, first-team All-Pro bot laner Berserker, and although Inspired did lose the first-team All-Pro to Jose Daejeon, you know the caliber of this player and what he brings to teams in shot calling, and adding Big Dokes to this team really has sent them to another level. Well, you can also say adding Castle to kind of light the fire under Dokes.
Adding Castle to the team has sent Big Dokes to another level.
Yeah, that sent Big Dokes into the stratosphere here. So this LYON squad here really has been the pinnacle of the LCS, and they're showing it here in Spring Finals yet again, looking very good as they approach another victory.
Oh, the equalizer. LYON is already nearly dead. The Xayah burning away down to 100 HP. LYON's going to go all the way back to the fountain as LYON continues sieging the tier 3 turret up here in the top lane, doing the same thing over in mid. Saints ready to crash that wave, and with Inspired and Berserker rotating over, that turret's first to fall.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be more turrets falling very shortly, Flowers. The destruction of the Team Liquid base will continue.
And I do not think morale will improve. LYON is turning this third game into an absolute beating. 13,000 gold lead, 29 minutes in. 15 kills to 0. It is so hard to close out a deathless game of League of Legends. Just the natural way you play a fight, generally, you got to lose somebody. But again, we got to go back. Inspired, 11 possible titles he could have won playing in North America. Of those, he has won 6. If he wins here, which is looking incredibly likely, that means he goes to 7 out of 12. That's like 56, 57% win rate in titles, man. And most people can't even get that in games in solo queue.
And the teams and the players that he has done it with, that Evil Geniuses team, FlyQuest on there for a long time, from the early stages as well, building them up into that juggernaut that eventually was able to challenge Gen G at Internationals very closely, pushing to 5 games. Regardless, though, Inspired, obviously lots of accolades, lots of awards, very successful, and this LYON team already being put together and finding so much success, winning both Lock-In and Spring. Every title that has been available to them since their creation this year. And now,
yeah, Dokla's in danger. They're going to full send it after Big Dokes. Team Liquid, they finally make their way on the board. 30 minutes into the game, TL will find their first kill, but it comes at the cost of that Hexel. Inspired was taking that the entire time, so now LYON add yet another tool to their arsenal.
It's okay. Every comeback starts with 1 kill. 1 kill at a time.
Okay. I respect your optimism, man. We were 15-0, now we're 15-1. Step 1 done, 14 more to go.
And now that the Hexel is down, Elder Dragon will be spawning. Or maybe your Nexus won't hold out that long, but maybe you can get a flip. And with Jose's ability to steal objectives, they are hoping they can get an Elder flip, an Elder steal or something, and work some miracles here in Arizona.
Well, you're going to have to work those miracles against a Yunara that now has Infinity Edge, that has Mercurial Scimitar. You've still got the Mikhails on Isles from earlier. It is so hard to do anything to Berserker on this Yunara that is just scaled so far ahead. LYON at least has his 3-item core, right? He's got his Infinity Edge up at least, but it feels like before every fight even starts, just the threat of damage from Inspired, from Dokla's equalizers, is getting LYON completely out of the fight.
Certainly is. LYON have done such an excellent job this game, and now with 2 inhibitors down, makes it very difficult for Team Liquid to retain map control while still being able to check for this Baron. They're going to try and do it though. So taking control of the vision leading over to the Baron is their first step. They're trying to work their way into their own jungle here, retake some control, and then hope for a pathway for another Jose miracle.
That's got to be what it is. Dokla down there in that bottom lane. Remember, that is the only lane with an inhibitor still standing on the TL side. Dokla will apply pressure there. He has his teleport to join the rest of the team at the Baron pit if and when he's needed. I don't even know if they will need him. They are so strong at this point. He will have his Seeker's Arm Guard as well. Guardian Angel up on Inspired. Zonya's available for Saint. So many defensive tools for everybody on LYON. It's hard to pick anyone, as the blast cone being protected, being guarded by Saint. They don't want to allow Jose, the man with the magic smite key, to get in there. And that's Baron secured for Inspired and LYON.
They make the call, Team Liquid, hey, even if you full sent in there, Jose, and you did it again, like, we believe you could do it, but you would die doing it, and then we would still lose the game. So they're going to hold off, and they're going to hope for the team fight defense instead.
And the Maiden once again falls in the top lane as Saint's going to continue pushing that one forward. You can see the timers in the bottom left, means that the top and mid lane inhibitors are about to respawn. Saint wants to make sure there is pressure on them as they do. Quid's going to be forced to go up there and answer that push from the LYON mid laner. Meanwhile, Dokla grouping up with his bottom lane duo down in that bottom side. Now that they've got the Baron, they're going to look to force down the last inhibitor turret. Make it a 3-inhib game. Put those double super minions in every wave and seal the deal here on this final.
And the pressure closing in on Team Liquid. This team that was recrafted around LYON and Core JJ. This team built to try and win the LCS. They're going to have to pull out every single stop that they have right now. The base defense is holding for now. Top side's already been broken though. Saints got the super empowered by Baron up at the Nexus Tower already.
Yeah, that mid lane inhibitor's about to be knocked down again. First Nexus turret is already down to 1/3 HP too. There's so many points of pressure coming from LYON. Team Liquid, they're pulled in so many different directions. It's so difficult to defend. Berserker thinking about going forward. Arc of Judgment finds a tag on Quid. TL falling back to the Nexus now. The castle has fallen. They must defend the keep. LYON pushing forward. LYON gets hit with the equalizer, immediately goes up into the Featherstorm. Berserker firing forward, goes in with the Fiend Hunter bolts as Jose Diodo tries to dive into the back line as a shutdown for Quid. They at least kill off Isles. Berserker tries to get away, but no, he's going to dive to the Arcane Storm. LYON's on the push. They want to go for the end right now. The Nexus falls, and LYON will sweep Team Liquid out of Arizona, the same they did to Cloud9. LYON will win back-to-back titles in North America and represent the LCS as champions.
Clearly and definitively the best team in the LCS this year. LYON have done it again.
What a final game. Game number 1, they're behind for half of it. They come back, they win. Game number 2, they're ahead for most of it. It gets a little dicey, but they win. Game number 3, there was never a question. They slammed this series.